Welcome in, everyone. RotoWire Week 8 start, sit, show. Excited everybody's here. Appreciate everybody who comes in, joins us for a minute, for an hour, the whole thing, but means a lot to us. Also at RotoWire, we have a new start, sit tool. It's a great tool that uses the consensus rankings. You put in the players you want, and that access is free on non-game days. So if it's Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, you can go in there and you can use that for free. If on game days you got to have a RotoWire subscription to get that, I can get you 15% off. Use the code YouTube15 at checkout, and then that would be available. The start sit tool will be available to you on Thursdays and Sundays. But again, free. Check it out next week for sure and see if you like it. But RotoWire's got some great things cooking here. Outside of that, we're waiting on statuses on Drake London, who apparently popped up with a hip injury. Schefter wrote shoulder too. I don't know exactly what that was. He redid his tweet. And David Njoku still questionable, so not quite sure what his status is yet. And we'll see as the inactives come in with their status or early games, so that helps. Got a couple of super chat, and let's get rolling here. All right, we have got Thomas, two running backs in the flex. You got Pittman, Dobbins, Hall, and Swift. Dobbins could not have a better matchup, but he hasn't been scoring touchdowns lately. But those are fickle. He could easily get in the end zone here. Dobbins has a really high floor. Love him. Pittman, the only worry we have, he's been great, and then Jeffrey Simmons is out for the pass rusher for Titans. Well, Jarius Sneed's out, one of their corners. If the Colts get a big lead by running the ball, they might not need a lot of Pittman, but I think they're going to score plenty of points anyway. I think they're going to be able to get him going. So Dobbins, I'd say, would be in. Swift is running red hot right now. And I know Baltimore, when they moved Kyle Hamilton down in the box a couple weeks ago, helped their run defense. I still think the Bears have a tactical advantage here. So you know what? I'm actually going to say Dobbins and Swift are your best floor plays, and I don't know that any of these other players have a ceiling. Right now, Breece Hall, it's tough because teams just sell out to stop the run because they simply can't pass the football. Pittman's a nice play, but I think the floor of Dobbins and Swift is much more secure. And all right, let's go to John next. Kayshon Boutte or Kyle Monangai. So Kyle Monangai has seen his biggest workloads in games that weren't really in question a lot. Last week, the Bears, I'm trying to even remember, they were winning by double digits. So he got a lot of work in that game. Baltimore, I don't see them winning by double digits. They might not even win. Baltimore might win this game. So I think this is close. I don't think Monangai is going to get more than his normal 4 to 6 carries that he does when games are close. And so I think that's what we're going to see from him. But Kayshon Boutte, now here's the thing. Targets are a problem, right? He doesn't get a lot of targets, but he has at least 45-ish yards in the last 3 games. When they throw to him, he does, something with it. Monangai just doesn't, unless he falls in the end zone and it's a weird game and it's a blowout one way or the other, I don't think he gets in the end zone. So his floor and his ceiling are kind of close to the same. I would take the shot on Kayshon Boutte here because, look, if he gets 3 targets, he probably does more than anything Monangai could do. And it's not like you're going to miss the 4 points that Monangai's going to score for you. Mason Taylor and Njoku or Loveland. So right now, I've got to give Mason Taylor the edge. Cincinnati simply cannot cover the tight end. They haven't been able to cover the tight end for years. And we even saw Pittsburgh throw 17 targets at him. And they have nobody else. And it's not like since he's going to come out and say, oh, we got to stop Mason Taylor. That's really not in their equation. So I think you go with Mason Taylor. And Njoku, he's, we don't know how the knee injury is. He's still listed as questionable. Loveland, it's a nice idea with Komet out, but I don't know what their game plan for him is, but I know Mason Taylor's got to be a part of a game. They're probably going to have to score some points in. All right, let's get to the live questions. All right, and we will start out with Drover. 3 questions made the Thursday mistake playing Mason. It wasn't a mistake. It just was one of those games that happen. I know I had Mason in the league. I had to start him. 6 teams on bye this week, right? You need an upside quarterback. Prescott or May. All right, let's see here. So in terms of upside, it is more likely that Dallas gets in a shootout than New England gets in a shootout. So for the upside, then I would say Prescott's your upside play because there's a world where that game goes off the rails. And if it does, then you want to be on that side of it. Worthy, Dowdle, Wan'Dale Robinson, or Stevenson. Honestly, Wan'Dale Robinson is both a floor and a ceiling play. And I think his target volume has to be secure. I don't think, my opinion, that Philly's going to say, man, we got to take him out with Quinyon Mitchell. I don't think that's the case. And Robinson moves in the slot a lot too, so that kind of takes that off the table. I think Robinson is going to be a very great volume play. Dowdle split snaps pretty equally with Chuba Hubbard. It's a great, great, great matchup. But if Hubbard plays well, Hubbard's going to get more. He's getting paid. He's the one on the 4-year contract. Dowdle's on the 3-year, 1 year, $3 million contract. So it's like they're already showing the business side. So if you want to shoot for, maybe that the run game just clicks all day and Buffalo doesn't score anything, which I doubt's going to happen. I think they're going to trail. I think Buffalo's going to get a big lead. So Dowdle worries me. So I play Wandale, but if your gut says Dowdle, I get it. McLaurin, Ertz, or Booty. So it's going to be weird with Mariota in. Ertz kind of gets canceled out because Debo's healthy. That'll kind of cancel him out a bit. So that's my concern there. Because when Debo was hurt 2 weeks ago, Ertz got a lot. When he was out, but I think that kind of goes away. McLaurin may be harder to trust with Mariota, and but Kayshon Boutte doesn't get many targets. So I almost would say give McLaurin a shot here. They're probably going to trail. They're probably going to have to throw. They probably don't throw deep to him all the time. So I think McLaurin probably has the best floor. Again, Boutte, it's just doesn't get the look. So, all right, John, good morning to you. You have the next. Mariota, here's the thing that we got to understand with Mariota. When he's taken over for Jaden Daniels, he's walked into a lot of really, really easy matchups. Now, Kansas City's not a death matchup, but certainly if the Commanders have to become one-dimensional, I don't think that bodes well for Mariota. This is a competent defense with a great coach. So Mac Jones, though, on the other hand, you could attack in the middle of the field, Houston. And they don't blitz. They have a great pass rusher, 2 edge rushers. But I think Mac Jones would be my choice here because I think George Kittle in the middle of the field gets going. McCaffrey in the screen game gets going. And I would give Mac Jones my lean there on that one. Let's see what we got here next. We got Delroy, Jalen Noel, Shamir, DK, Tez Johnson. So, and this is for everybody, okay? We're on 6 teams on bye. There's a lot of wide receivers out this weekend. Obviously, there's a ton of them out. Tight ends are pretty healthy and running backs pretty healthy. But what I'll tell you is this. When you have options like Delroy has, look at your matchup. If you want to take a shot at upside, this is where I would say a player like Shamir DK. That's a player if you were shooting for upside. We've already seen in his brief time on the field. It's not just last week's box score. He's electric. If they get the ball in his hands, he's a mover. They could use him on jet sweeps. They could use him on screens. They could use him on, different types of plays. And I think they're starting to figure out with Ridley out, we got a player here. And I like Isle Manor, who's not on your list, but I think DK is somebody that you ought to reach up. Tez Johnson, though, he's really live with Baker Mayfield. I think Tez Johnson is the best floor of the 3. I think that in a game that the Titans are 14-point underdogs, I think DK has real boom bust potential for that boom. But Tez Johnson's the safest one. I'd take them both over Jalen Noel in this one. Delroy, pick one, flex, full PPR, Dowdle, Algier, and Bourne. Now, this is where I just defer to Dowdle. He's playing great. He's getting half the work. If the blowout's on, hopefully it's not on until too late, but then he might catch passes. I love Algier this week, but they didn't take him off the injury report either, and that was surprising. I thought they would take him off the injury report, and they didn't, so that's a little bit of a concern. And then Bourne is just like, I don't think Bourne on the outside against Stingley and Lassiter, I don't think he has a chance. So it'd be Dowdle for me. Got another super chat here. Let's get that, and then we'll get back to – I'm going to type the time in. It always helps me get back to where I'm at on the questions. All right. Fabian, good morning to you. Theo Johnson, Loveland, Pat Fryermuth. Pat Fryermuth, it was one of those weird games that were 17 targets at tight ends in that game. He just hasn't seen much work. Theo Johnson, he got that deflected touchdown last week, but he is a little bit more of the game, and the safeties and the Eagles are a problem in coverage. So – Loveland, I really don't know if the game plan is going to shift him. It's not like Cole Kmet was catching many passes either. So he steps into a role, but what role is that? I would tend to go Theo Johnson here. I do think Philly's going to be able to put up some points even without A.J. Brown. And I think Theo Johnson is going to be able to take advantage of safety. So that's the way I would go with that one. And I'm at the 8:32 mark on here. This helps me find my spot so I don't lose it on anybody. All right, so here we go. Answer that one. All right, next question. Mims, Higgins, or Io Manor. So I had mentioned DK earlier, but again, this is a game that the Colts corners aren't very good, and they're probably going to get out to a big lead, and Tennessee's going to have to pass. And I think the Colts could even back off defensively in the second half if they have a big enough lead. So I like Io Manor here. I think Io Manor has a decent floor this week. He has a legitimate chance of scoring a touchdown. Mims is your boom bust play because against Dallas, my goodness, if they decide to take a couple deep shots, he could hit on them. You could see him getting 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, but you also could see him getting 1 for 19 and calling it a day. So Io Manor is your floor play, and Mims is your boom bust, and I'm leaving Higgins off this one because I think even though obviously they're down 2 receivers, I just think that those other 2 players that Higgins is probably in a lower scoring game too. Dalton Schultz is like eating like a maniac too. Was it 9 catches last week? Big meat. You got to pick one half PPR: Mason Taylor, Juwan Johnson, Fant, or Loveland. So Fant is an interesting play. He's had 4 catches in 2 straight weeks, and that's interesting because Joe Flacco, I think Fant's kind of become the de facto slot receiver when he's on the field. Doesn't always play, but when he's on the field, I think he's become that. And I think against the Jets, that's not a bad thing. Now, of course, with Sauce Gardner around, I don't know if they have to worry about it. So Fant, that makes me a little bit of concern here. Juwan Johnson did snap back last week. They finally gave him targets, right? I think Mason Taylor has to get targets, and the matchup is beautiful for him. This is all obviously coin flip area. I think Taylor has to get 8 targets in this game. With Reynolds out, with Garrett Wilson out, I just think he has to get 8 targets. And for him, that potential moves me to the top of the line. I think I got another super chat, and I got 838 on. Let me type that in there. All right, perfect. Let's see. Hey, we got Randy here. Good to see you, Randy. Randy in non-PPR. So you got the standard scoring, Monangai or Brashard Smith. So I do think with Kansas City being, what are they, 12-point favorites roughly, it's most likely they get a big lead against the Commanders. And we saw last week, Brashard Smith was heavily utilized. Monangai, on the other hand, I know Lamar Jackson's not playing, but I just don't think the Bears are going to, it's a toss-up game, right? So Monangai gets 4 to 6 carries in those games. I think Brashard Smith has the opportunity of doing really well because of potential blowout. Is Shipley's the backup? Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby, he rarely plays snaps. But they did deactivate Dillon last week because of his fumble against Philadelphia, and they did activate him. But Shipley's the backup. They're not using much of anybody, but it is Shipley. Yeah, good question, Randy. All right, I got 838 in here. I got to find 2. And all right, there you go. Perfect. All right, and the next one we got Judkins or Chase Brown. This is an interesting one. Judkins is the engine of that offense, and New England's a good defense, but we have seen Judkins get it done almost every week, regardless of matchup. I know that even that weather game last week against Miami, where they sold out to stop the run, still went for 84 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I just think, I love Chase Brown this week, but he's not the engine of the offense, and he's counting on, and he's played like 63% of the snaps last week. So Judkins plays more. Judkins a better player. The matchup, again, I don't know that's as important because Judkins is really a superstar. So I'm going to go with Judkins here. I hope Chase Brown has a game, and he is worth considering this week, but I don't think it gets Judkins. Kevin, all right, see you got here. Need the following in a PPR: Jones or Hurts. So A.J. Brown should be good after the bye. I think we knew that already. That was me and Rappaport. All right. So I keep Jalen Hurts up pretty high. He hasn't had like the ceiling games, but his floor's been good. He just finds a way to get it going. And this is a rematch against the Giants. Even without A.J. Brown, they should have some answers here. Devontae Smith could easily be a lead receiver, so I'm not worried about that. And Goddard could be more involved. I just don't think, because Daniel Jones, remember, for fantasy, he hasn't had a ton of great games since like week 1 and 2. A lot of games that Jonathan Taylor runs in his 2 or 3 touchdowns, and then they don't need him for a lot. So I just think that you go with the safe guy there, and because you drafted Hurts because of the floor, and then you hope for the ceiling, so that works out. And what else you got here? You need 2 of the following: Monangai, Franklin, Juwan Jennings, Jalen Waddle, or Fannin. Definitely going back to Waddle. Waddle had a bad weather game, a horrible matchup last week. The 2 weeks prior, what was he, in the 90-yard range? So there's no reason to sit him. And I don't own if it actives for 18 minutes. If Njoku sits, I'd play Fannin. I would definitely do. Otherwise, I don't like Juwan Jennings' matchup because when he plays on the outside quite a bit, and that's going to be Stingley and Lassiter. It's not a good matchup for him. Franklin's losing snaps to Pat Bryant and others, so his opportunities are kind of weird. Monangai, again, unless the Bears are in a blowout or being blown out, I don't think he gets more than 4 to 6 carries in a game. So I don't think he's a factor here. So I would say Waddle will be in. You know what? Actually, it'll be Fannin. Fannin be the second because I don't like Jennings' matchup. If your gut says Jennings, I get it, but the matchup is really rough. I just see San Francisco attack in the middle in this one. All right, see what we got here. Kevin, half PPR quarterback, Jones, Flacco, or Fields. we can't trust Fields. I mean, Fields is a swing for the moon play. If you're a big underdog in your game, yeah, he could run for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. And maybe because he knows he was supposed to be benched, but Tyrod hurt his knee, maybe Fields says, forget it. I'm just gonna go out. So Fields is your ultimate swing for defense play, but he just as soon could know what the owner said about him and just mentally have given up. So it's too much to worry about here. Um, I think Jones is actually safer than Flacco because there's a world where the Jets are so bad that Cincy gets a lead, and if Cincy gets a lead, they might not have to have Flacco throw all day. You play your Bengals like you normally do, but there's a real possible scenario that the Bengals have a lead and they don't have to get aggressive. So at least Daniel Jones, even in a blowout, will have to get something done to get there. So I do like Flacco, but I just see the narrative issue. So I go with Daniel Jones here. Abraham, morning to you as well. Which tight end? Loveland, Taylor, Fant, or Hurts? People had similar questions, and I know you heard it already. So we're going to go with Mason Taylor. I think there's 8 targets there. Ertz, the only issue, like I said, is he ate in the last 2 games. Debo was playing hurt in one, and he was missed the other one. But when Debo's there, he's their short area guy. And you saw Ertz fell off the cliff once they realized what they had in Debo. Bench 1, Spears, Algier, Monangai. I like Spears and Algier this week. I like them both because 14-point underdog. Spears is getting half the work. He's getting passing down work. 7 and 9 PPR. You at half, so whatever that factors out to there. But he's getting you something. Algier, as long as he's healthy, just make sure he's active in a few minutes, 15 minutes. Obviously, if he's not, makes your choice. Monangai, like I said, just not really. That has to be a game script, and I don't think that game script is going to help Monangai here. All right, Disco Dave, more than you, Dart or Flacco. You heard me just talk about the Flacco thing. I love him this week, but Dart has been a quarterback 1 in every start. Now there is something to worry about because Fangio has played him. Now he's going to coach against him a second time. So Fangio could cook up a game plan, but Dart has been a QB1 in all 4 starts. So, and he runs. And that's a huge part of his game. He didn't run last week. We called it he wouldn't run last week, that Denver wouldn't let him, and he didn't. But he ran against this team. So I think because of the running, I think you got to play Dart ahead of him. I got Dart at 7, Flacco at 10 of the remaining players this week. If you think somehow that the Jets can force a shootout, which I don't know if they can, then that case Flacco would be great. But I just see too many scenarios where that game is 20-10, and that's it. Dart or Fields. You heard me talk about Fields a second ago, so I won't go through that whole spiel again. Dart is just way safer. Fields, there's so many ranges of outcomes for him, and one of those ranges of outcomes is him putting up another single-digit game, which you can't have at quarterback. Njoku or Cade Otton, I do like Otton this week. Now, unlike last year when they were missing receivers, they got Ibuka there. He's going to play. So it's not going to be the Cade Otton show like it was when Godwin and Evans were out last year. Tez Johnson is already getting a lot of good reps with his quarterback. Mayfield was off last week. Is one of those games. So I do like Otton, but if David Njoku is active, and that'll be out in about 13 minutes. If Njoku's active, I almost think you got to play him because against New England, they're going to get the ball out short and quick for Dylan Gabriel, and Njoku, he was locking on him pretty well. So I would give Njoku if the edge. Obviously, if he's inactive, your choice is made for you. All right, next one. Good morning to you, Ingram or Schultz. Schultz he's had at least 5 catches, 4 straight games. Who else are they going to throw to, right? Who else? Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, great. But Schultz is the one player that Stroud counts on. And Fred Warner, unfortunately, has been out with, that season-ending injury. So they don't have a tight end stopper they're going to use. So I just think you keep riding Schultz. The floor is so high. And that's just too hard to go by because Ingram is doing okay, but if he doesn't find the end zone, it's problematic. They could weaponize him. He could have a big game. I'd say this. If you think the Dallas and Denver game is going to shoot out and it's going to both teams get in the 30s, then I would play Ingram because Ingram would have more upside in that scenario. But Schultz is safer. Schultz is way safer. But yeah, Ingram could have big plays against Dallas because they are that bad. It is a gut call, but it really is more of a floor versus ceiling. The boom bust. Ingram's the boom bust for you. Noel or DJ Moore. So full disclosure, everybody knows I'm a DJ Moore guy, and that's a weak spot for me. So whenever you ask me, but I'll tell you this: DJ Moore, when he came back that first game from the bye, he was being featured, but then he got injured, and it was a wet, sloppy field. And then last week against New Orleans, they were winning by double digits, so they ran the ball an unusual amount of times. I do believe from what I saw in the snaps that they played when the games are competitive that DJ Moore is going to be back as one of the focal points of the passing game at Romo Dunze. I just believe the 2 games, they were extenuating circumstances. So DJ Moore hasn't been good. He usually gets you 7 to 12 PPR points in a game. And I do think you play him here because I do believe he is a function of what they're trying to do. And the way to get to the Ravens on some of those crossers, and DJ Moore has been used on some of those. Next one, William. TD heavy scoring with yards, Kelsey or Goddard. So here's the funny thing, and this is for everybody. This is going to sound stupid, but it's National Tight End Day. And we have seen for 2 years, tight ends have gone off on National Tight End Day. Now, Goddard didn't play one of those. In the other year, that 2 years ago, he wasn't like heavily featured. So I do think Patrick Mahomes will and the team will be cognizant of National Tight End Day, even though it's tomorrow. And I believe Kelsey will get a touchdown. I just don't think he's getting a lot of targets because it's the Rashee Rice show. Now, Goddard, he's been boom or bust. You never know what the targets be. With A.J. Brown out, you would think he has to be a bigger part of this game plan. So I think Kelsey with the TD heavy scoring, I think I would lean him because I think that narrative of National Tight End Day is a thing for players like him and Kittle, whereas I don't think it's as much for Goddard. So I would give Kelsey the edge. And then Keon Coleman, DJ Moore, Dobbs are worthy. Dobbs is the safest. Dobbs has been double-digit PPR points, and you're TD heavy, I know, but he scored 3 touchdowns against Dallas. He hasn't scored since. So I think Dobbs is the safest play of these all. I think Worthy is your boom bust play because they easily could pop him for a long play, and that would make your day right there. So Dobbs is safest, and Worthy is the boom bust call of that group. Fields or Dart, and yeah, somebody else had that one. So you've heard me say, we just can't trust Justin Fields right now. I just don't even think it's possible. Could he score 30 points? Yes, he absolutely scored 30 points. He also can get you 7, and they could bench him for whoever now who their third stringer is because Taylor ain't playing, but they're sour on him. So I just wouldn't take that chance. It's almost to the point where you have another quarterback on the waiver wire. I would not want the aggravation of having Fields on my roster because the week you play him, he's going to get you a 7, and then you can't take a loss. It's that bad. Again, Fields could score you 30, but I'm playing Dart. All right, next one, Dingo. Good morning to you. Half 1 PPR, need 3. Rashee Rice, CD Lamb, Drake London, Ibuka. All right, the only reason I'm going to say out with London is because whatever injury he has, they're checking him pregame, which is right now. They're checking him 9 minutes till inactives. So he's probably not 100%. I do think that they can run the ball at home. They're outstanding running the ball at home. And if he really is limited, then maybe they use him in a decoy role. So that's the only reason I will take the Drake London and say, just leave him out. Ibuka's going to get a lot of targets. Mayfield will settle back down this week. Rice and Lamb, you can't sit ever. So, yeah, I would say that. 6-point passing touchdown, Drake, May, or Dak. Again, I think there are more paths to the Dallas-Denver game being high scoring than there are paths to the New England game being high scoring. And I know there's a world where New England could win, in a blowout and score a lot of points. But against Cleveland, I don't know that's going to be so easy. That defense is really good. I would say the probability falls with Dak. Jeff, good morning. Flowers, Wandale, or Dowdle for the flex. It's between Wandale and Dowdle for me. Wandale has been a great player since Neighbors, but again, I said to an earlier person, I just don't see a world where Vic Fangio says we got to stop Wandale Robinson. I just don't think they see him as that kind of game changer. So I think Wandale's fine. Dowdle, it's going to be game script dependent. If Buffalo gets a lead, which I think they will, then he and Hubbard are in a timeshare. I don't know what the workload will be. I think Wandale's the safest one. And Wandale could have had a bigger game against the Eagles last time, but they were so busy blowing them out, they didn't have to throw the ball in the second. He had like 20 PPR points. I think it was almost all in the first half. Not that I'll do that again, but yeah, I love Wandale Robinson. Pollard or Schultz? I got to go with Schultz here. I hate it. Pollard is not. I think he's under 6 PPR points in the last 2 games. That sounds about right. The team's a disaster, and now he's splitting with Tyjae Spears, so that's even worse. Yeah, I got to go with Schultz. At least 5 catches in the last 4 games. Lost AJ Brown, need a deep flex. Knoll, Dotson, Slayton, Bourne. If I would give Dotson a whirl because it's possible the Giants try to bracket Devontae Smith, and that would give Dotson more favorable coverage. And there might be, we have seen him take 1 or 2 downfield shots to him this year. So I would take the shot with Jahan Dotson here and just see because they were launching it last week. And if they go back to launching it, he could come up for you. So yeah, I would look at him. All right, Jay, if London can't go, do you start Waddle or touchdown? Got to go with Waddle. Remember, last week they were playing Cleveland. The weather wasn't as bad as we thought, but it still was a factor. Tua needs pristine conditions. So I would go right back to Waddle. Waddle is in the 90-yard range 2 prior games, so I would definitely go with him. Vinny, good morning to you. 2 questions, Dak or Daniel Jones. Again, it's very hard to sit Dak Prescott right now. And I know Denver has a good defense. Dak is crushing it regardless of matchup. The only game he didn't do much is that rain impacted game in Philly in week 1. And if CD didn't drop a pass or 2, that would have been a big game for Dak too. It's really hard to sit Dak right now. As good as the Denver corners are, Surtain's not playing to his normal level this year, but good luck stopping George Pickens. Seriously, he's more physical than whoever they're going to put on. Whether I don't care if it's Surtain, they'll beat the hell out of him. So it's on downfield play. So not even worried about that. He's such a physical downfield receiver. And Dak, launch. I'd go with Dak. And then Pittman or Odunze. Odunze, this is funny with Odunze. He scored 5 touchdowns in the first 4 games. He has 1 game over 70 yards. That 100-yard game against Detroit. It's just weird when you look at his stat line. But look, the Bears had 2 weird games. They had that rain impacted game in Washington. They were able to run the ball. And then last week they had a double-digit lead. They didn't need to pass so much. I do think with Baltimore, they're going to have to pass. And so both players are good, but I'd give Odunze the edge. I think they're going to need him here. I don't think you're going to get away with running the ball whatever many times they did last week. Jay, Quentin Johnson has 0. Mayfield or May? Well, for the upside only, I'd play May because Cleveland plays a lot of man coverage, which means the defenders turn their back on the quarterback, which means May could possibly turn that into some run lanes. He's very crafty with that. And the rushing upside there. I don't know if Mayfield has to run much here. They're playing New Orleans. New Orleans isn't like they could beat up Kool-Aid McKinstry all day. So yeah, I think May would be your upside play there. Falcons or Broncos defense. The Falcons are at home. And when the Falcons are at home and they're playing Miami, I think they don't overthink this one. I don't know how Denver does much to get to Dallas because Dak's just getting the ball out. And yeah, I would go with Falcons pretty easily there. Disco Dave, sit one in the TD heavy league, Moore, Worthy or Dobbs. I'd sit DJ Moore in that one. I think I answered these right, didn't I? I always answer these. Dart and Dart. Tierra next, non-PPR flex, Mooney, Schultz, Pierce, Knoll, or Io Manor. You're already starting a kid. So non-PPR, even though it's not PPR, Schultz has got 5+ catches. So there's going to be some yards. I think Schultz has a decent floor. Alec Pierce, though, is the one that stands out to me. He is getting yardage most weeks. He has a good floor. He has ceiling potential. He has a great matchup this week. He is a real part of that offense. Mooney's interesting, but I think Alec Pierce has been a very big component. And if you're non-PPR, it's like Nolan Mooney fit like the profile of guys that can make a bigger play. But yeah, I'd go to Alec Pierce. Mooney's close though. Mooney's real close. If your gut says Mooney, I totally get it. All right, next one. Oh, Mike's in the house. All right. Oh yeah, a lot of key injuries. That receiver, man, the injuries are rough. Andrews or Shepard. So you got Sterling Shepard, tight end 0.75. So I don't know if it's going to stick. I was on this XM show with Mario Puig yesterday, and we were talking about that 1/2 season or 5 games when Andrews played with Tyler Huntley, and Andrews went off for like 5 straight weeks. I think they played together after that, and it wasn't the same. But there is a history between those two, and they don't want Huntley throwing the ball to the perimeter because he's his only problems are going to happen. So, excuse me. I give Andrews an edge with the 0.75, whereas Shepard, you never know what his role is going to be. I mean, it's always one of those things he's had in the past where they've had guys injured and then he didn't do anything. And then there's weeks where he went off. I'd give Andrews the world there. Good chance he scores too. Delroy Pollard or Dowdle fairly easily on that one. Pollard just splitting the work like Dowdle, but Pollard is on a much more difficult situation. Denver, Houston D. I'd say Houston D. Even though but I don't think either defense scores many points. I think the Texans have a better chance of getting sacks against Mac Jones. Andrews, Theo Johnson, or Loveland. And I'm going to go back to Andrews here. I'm going to cite that little history with Tyler Huntley. At least he has familiarity and some chemistry with him. So I'll go with Theo Johnson's close. But Andrews, yeah, I'll go to Andrews there. Loveland, I just don't know. Like I said, Kmet wasn't like catching passes anyway. So it's not like Drake London is out, everybody. Drake London is out today. Move Mooney up your rankings. Whoever asked me that Mooney question before, I think it was Tier. I think you move Mooney to the top of the list here with Kirk Cousins. He'll be able to get the ball downfield. But Drake London is out per Ian Rappaport. And I'm sure it's going to be per Schefter and everybody else within 5 seconds. All right. So, wow, Drake London is out. That's huge news. All right, next one. Keon Coleman or Marvin Mims? You know what? I would be inclined to go with Marvin Mims here. I think that Coleman just doesn't get many targets when they're in chase mode, which I don't think they'll be here. Mims has more probability of being in a shootout, and Dallas gives up big plays. So Coleman's on the field more. Coleman is more involved. But I think Mims, I don't think Coleman has a high enough floor. Yeah, and there comes from Schefter too. Drake London inactive. So I would give Mims the whirl. If your guts is Coleman, I get it. All right, see what we got next here. Steven, full point PPR flex. Odunze or Pickens? Oh man, it's so tough. So tough. I got Odunze at 14. I got Pickens at 11. They're right in the same bucket. I think Odunze has a higher floor. I do think he has a higher floor. So I would say that for sure. I think Pickens has more touchdown upside. He has more big play upside. But I think ultimately, and I have Pickens ranked ahead, but I think Pickens is a better, I Odunze has a better floor. But I rank Pickens higher because I think the opportunity for him to get a big play, maybe a touchdown, are certainly there. So if you just want floor, it's Odunze. So that'll be it for that one. All right. Delroy, Higgins, Noel, Coleman, Shamir, DK. I like DK here. They involved him a lot last week. He's very, very useful. They can move him around. They use some gadgety stuff, but he's good after the catch. And they're going to trail, and Indy doesn't have really good corners. So I'd go DK there. Starting Mahomes, which one in San Francisco do you start? Superflex. Dalton, Buffalo, Cousins, Baltimore. Cousins is starting. Now there's no Drake London. So you know what? Based on that, I would probably just go with Andy Dalton. My personal opinion is that Buffalo, coming off a bye, coming off 2 losses, I think they're going to be well on point for this game, and I think that means Dalton's going to have to throw in the second half. So I would go with Dalton there. Vinny, Worthy, Dobbs, or Stevenson in the flex? Dobbs is the highest floor play. Stevenson was great last week, but this is a rugged matchup. And Worthy is your upside play, your boom bust play, because I could see him connecting on a big play or two, but you also could see it being a bit of an issue. So, but Dobbs is your floor play, Worthy's your boom bust. Terminal sarcasm. Thank you so much. And hopefully that wasn't terminally sarcastic. But no, I appreciate you. It means a lot. Thank you. Harlington. All right, have to start one. Tez Johnson, Alec Pierce, or Kayshon Boutte. I like Alec Pierce, sir. Alec Pierce is a part of that offense. He has a decent floor most weeks. He's been a very, very solid player for that offense. And so even though, we never know when Boutte's going to get targets. That's always the problem. So it's that, look, if Boutte gets 7 targets and he crushes everybody, Tez Johnson's in a great position. You have 3 really good choices here. But I do like Alec Pierce for his role in that offense. And I got a super chat before I get to Brian Upton. Let's see, I got a super chat here. And Sideshow Mill, Mariota, Fields, Cousins, or Mac Jones. Yeah. The loss of Drake London, that really takes some shine off of Kirk Cousins' potential, which I was fairly excited about. So I think they're going to run the ball a ton here now. Certainly Bijan Robinson could crush as a receiver, right? Mac Jones, I think it's going to be a lot. You know what? It's funny because Mac Jones is a bad matchup. But I think they're really going to get Kittle in the middle of the field, and they're going to get, McCaffrey out of the backfield. I think they're going to not challenge the outside corners. Fields is obviously your boom bust play. With this group you have, I think Trey Hendrickson is playing. So for what that's worth, that makes it better for the Bengals. Anyway, Fields is clearly he's your boom play because I don't know what his mindset is right now, but he certainly could go off in this matchup against Cincinnati. And with Hendrickson, and actually that could push Fields to run more if he gets chased. I think your best floor play is Mac Jones because I do think there's enough to get done. Mariota, he's had some easy matchups when he's been stepping in before. even if the Chiefs get a big, I think that they might be relentless against Mariota. So Jones for floor. Fields is definitely your upside play because he could have a game here. But again, I've explained in the show, there have been too many times when he hasn't had a game. So it's troubling. All right, let me get back to the live questions. I think the 10 o'clock question here. Yeah, let me see. I typed that out and I don't lose my place. I got Brian Upton. All right, Brian. Dak or Drake May. It is Dak because there's more probability of a high. Oh, hold on. David Njoku and Tyler Algier are playing today. They are active per Adam Schefter. That's a very important update. Algier, I was a little worried because I didn't take him off the list. Brees Hall is playing as expected. Mason Taylor's playing as expected. We already told you Drake London is out. You know that. David Njoku is playing, and I do think he's a recommended play because I do know Dylan Gabriel does want to get in the targets. So, Brian, back to your question now. So, yes, Dak, I think there's more probability of a high scoring game than Drake May has. So I like Dak for that reason. Green Bay defensive special team or the Browns. You know what? I'm probably going to say Green Bay here because I think Micah Parsons will be moved around the formation, and Aaron Rodgers. I know he's getting out super fast, but I think they could create some errors because I think he's got to get out faster than usual, and that could lead to some sloppiness. Whereas the Browns, I think they can hold the Patriots under a lower number of points, maybe, but well, watch Stevenson put on the carpet. But I don't see Drake May turning the ball over. So I think the Green Bay's your better play there. Abraham, Loveland, Taylor, Fanterts. We're going with Taylor, because Cincinnati's like horrific against tight ends, and I really think this could be a game where he gets 8+ targets. So I like that there. And Infinite Pilot Pro, trade Judkins for Hall. I would keep Judkins at all costs. He's a superstar. He's playing well. Brees Hall, you're only banking on him getting traded, and you're banking him getting traded to a team that will fully weaponize him. It's too big of a risk to take. So the Judkins side of that trade, and then believe me, I was heavily invested on Hall this offseason. It has not gone well. I'm praying he gets traded, but right now, not so good. All right, let's see what we got next here. User PPR, non-PPR. So the non-PPR moves me to Pickens because Olave, and now Olave had the big yardage game last week against Chicago, I know, but Pickens is the one for yardage and touchdowns. And again, a much likely higher scoring game. And I know that Spencer Rattler's played better at home. That helps Olave. But to me, it's got to be Pickens just because of the way his role is. Moore or Mooney. Iron Eddie, because Drake London is out, I think Mooney is going to be utilized somewhat significantly. So I would give the move to Darnell Mooney there. See, guys, I'm going against DJ Moore. That's hard for me to do. So, yeah, give myself a pat on the back for doing something that I struggle to do. I'm going to take Drake London off my board here real quick for those looking at it. So, you know, I don't have to get confused with that. And Darnell Mooney, I have his wide receiver 30 with upside. I think we're going to make a move on him up the board. I think what we'll do is we're going to put him ahead of. Let's go all the way up to 22 with him. Let's remember there's 6 teams on buys. This isn't a normal wide receiver 22 ranking. And there's a bunch of wide receivers out this week. So among this group, we're going to move him just ahead of Romeo Dobbs. Dobbs is a good floor place. We'll move up to 22. I think that's going to be a fair assessment with the injury there. And David Njoku, we're going to keep him at tight end 12, take the injury tag off of him. So we're in good shape there, but I do see him. And I have Fannin right behind him because I was worried about Njoku. Fannin does move down a couple spots now. So we're going to move Fannin down. I think we'll move him down to right beneath. Hold on. Move him right beneath Cade Otton because Otton will probably be needed a bit in that game. So move Fannin down just a bit. It seems like Dylan Gabriel is a little bit better of a connection with David Njoku on the limited time they've spent together. All right. Terminal sarcasm. Look at your question. Then I have a super chat, and then we will move Jatavian Sanders or Gunnar Helm. You know, Matt Milano. I'm trying to see if he's out. I've checked if Matt Milano is out. Matt Milano is inactive. So you know what? I think we give Jatavian Sanders a shot with Andy Dalton. And he's their tight end stopper, and they're not going to have that. They're probably going to trail. I like Gunnar Helm too, but I like Jatavian Sanders. I think with Andy Dalton, no Matt Milano, I think that's a good matchup. Fields or May. Fields just has too much volatility, and I know it's a total swing for defense, but again, I just after the owner threw shade at him, I don't know where he's at mentally. So Drake May's just been great all year, and I just think you roll with him because his floor is so safe. That floor means a lot in these games. When you don't have the floor, it's just another story. You don't want to lose your game because your quarterback got you a 7 or a 9, right? All right. And Fields doesn't protect himself, takes too many hits too. All right. So let me go to the super chat question here, and then I'll come back to 10:02. Type that on here. All right, good. Super chat. All right. We got Fabian. Fabian, you need to Woody Marks, RJ Harvey, or Juwan Jennings. So I definitely want to go with Woody Marks here. He'll have a role, and I think against San Francisco's been like rallying against the run pretty well. So Nick Chubb might struggle in this one. It's not your classic 49ers run defense, that offensive line in Houston so bad. They're gonna have to make some plays in space. So I like Woody Marks there. For your second one, Jennings has a little bit of a floor, but it's a bad matchup on those outside corners, Stingley and Lassiter. It's not a good matchup for him. So I think it's a floor game. So if you need to go boom bust with that second one, I do think if that game in Dallas gets wild, and if Sean Payton can see, oh wait, if I get a running back on their linebackers, I can make a lot of noise here. So Harvey, if he's used right, has real potential to do something here. But Jennings is way safer because Harvey could just get 2 touches and call it a day, right? With London out, the last guy, Booty, Christian Watson, Noel, DK, or Henry. Of this group, I think Booty, who has like 40 something yards or more the last 3 games, the targets are really nerve wracking. He gets 2, 3, he had a 5 in there. So that makes him nerve wracking. But I do think among this group, he has, a little bit of a floor. But I really would consider DK because they're 14-point underdogs. If Indy gets a lead, those corners in Indy aren't good. Indy could even back off if they get a big enough lead in the second half. And DK with Ridley out, I mean, the kid can make plays and they're getting him the ball. So I do think DK is a very, very live play here, but I do think Booty has some interest here because with all the man coverage Cleveland plays, I could see him getting a downfield shot and he's been really good on those. But if it's my lineup, I probably would take the shot on DK just because I think he's going to have a big role in a game that I think the script's going to force him. All right, let's see where we're at here. Oh, take off the super chat. Hang on. All right, there we go. Back to the live. I was at 10:02. Oh, that popped way down. Good thing I learned this new little trick so I'm not like scrambling around like more of a fool than I already am. All right, 10:02. Here we go. All right, I answered that one already, and I answered that one, and there we go. All right. OM. All right. Happy Sunday to you as well. Judy, Mims, or Noel. It looks like Judy's playing right now. So let me take a look here and just double check to make sure. If Judy's playing, look, he's been terrible. He's your floor play, though. He'll get you 4 catches. He'll get you 35, 40 yards, and there's something to be said for him. Noel, it's hard to know what he's going to come up with here. I think it's a Dalton Schultz game, unfortunately. But I think Mims is your upside play because if Sean Payton decides to call a couple play action shots, Mims could make big plays, even the screens, if they decide to use them. His snaps have been down, and that's been a problem. But Mims is your boom bust. Judy's your floor play. I assume right now he is active. All right, next one. Good morning from New York City. There you go. Oh, appreciate it, man. It means a lot. Thank you. Thoughts on Njoku or Dalton Schultz? Like I said, Schultz has like 5 catches in 4 straight games. It's like CJ Stroud, like that's his whoopee. Yeah, he has to go to Dalton Schultz because I don't think he knows he can trust anybody else. So love Njoku this week, and I have Njoku rated like one spot higher. But and if I'm in PPR and I want to make sure I have a safe play, Schultz is the safest. Njoku has some upside though because I could see him getting some catch and run and doing some great things. So I think Njoku has more upside, but Schultz is the safest. But if it's my lineup, I'm going to go with my ranking 1 spot higher, and I will go with Njoku because, again, seeing he's off the injury report, I have to assume he's healthy enough to play. If you're worried about the injury at all, then it would be Schultz. Delroy Ferguson, Mason Taylor, Cade Otton. Well, Ferguson, he obviously got to play him. Otton and Taylor both have potentially good situations. I think that Mason Taylor is going to be needed a lot more than Cade Otton is because they really don't have receivers. So I would give Mason Taylor the advantage here, knowing he's had a couple of good games with Fields already. Ingram a better play than DJ Moore or Mooney. It's interesting because Ingram's had a decent floor. If he doesn't get in the end zone, there's not much of a ceiling. In PPR, I don't know that he is because, like I said, DJ Moore. Like I said, I explained earlier, he was going to be involved in that Washington game, and then the weather got really bad in the second half, and he got hurt. And then last week they were winning by double-digit points, but he was getting involved. I think they're making a point to get him involved. So I don't think Ingram's a better play than Moore. Mooney's interesting to me because with Drake London out, I think he's got to get 7 targets, right? And Cousins can throw it downfield, and I just think that's an opportunity. So I would go with Mooney in this one. And let me just double check with Mooney. Yeah, and Miami's corners are terrible. So I mean, it's a great matchup. Couldn't be better there. Laura Jim Cooperman in the PPR, Woody Marks, Pollard, or Andrews. Oh, that's a tough one. Um, again, we've seen Tyler Huntley a few years ago have success with Mark Andrews. I think they're going to have to throw in the middle. I think they want to throw to the perimeter. They want to extend plays. Pollard hasn't done very much. He's splitting with Spears, and that line's terrible. Woody Marks is a little boom bustish. He could get going a little bit against. Also, there's that. He probably has a safer floor than Andrews because Andrews, we've seen him get goose eggs or close to it. So I think Woody Marks is the best floor play. I think Andrews is worth a look, though, because I could see Andrews coming up with a few plays on the middle of the field in this one, but he's risky. Oh, I got a super chat, then I'll come back to the next one, 10:04. All right. All right, super chat. We got John with Njoku and or Mason Taylor. Both of them were on the injury report this week. So, for what that's worth, they probably both have similar injury risk, right? So I think that one's a wash. So based on that, again, like I said, Njoku's a big part of this offense. But I just think Mason Taylor, Cincinnati's probably going to score some points. Cincinnati cannot defend the tight end. Literally at all. I mean, you saw 3 Steelers tight ends go off against them last week. So I have to think Mason Taylor is going to get 8 targets or more. And I think that's enough to say I got to give him a whirl in there. And then we got another super chat question here from Thomas. Mooney, Pittman, or Hall, PPR for wide receiver and flex. So it looks like you need 2 here. You know what? I will go with Pittman and Hall hasn't been good, but it is a great matchup. And I know Cincinnati could sell to stop the run, but Hall still, with Fields at least in there, if at least they get him moving a bit, which I don't know they will. I just think Hall is a safer floor. Pittman is a great floor play. He could find the end zone and have more. Mooney's a little more risky. Especially if they get out to a big lead early and they might not have to pass so much. So there's that. So I would put Mooney down. It's tempting. It's tempting for sure. All right, I'm on 10:04 here. So let's see where we're at here. All right, and right here. All right, next. All right, Delroy. Start 2. DJ Moore, Tez Johnson, Jalen Coker. So I will go with DJ Moore and Tez Johnson here. Jalen Coker, I don't know how much chemistry he has with Andy Dalton. I know Bryce Young in the middle of the field. That's like a match made in heaven. But Andy Dalton's more willing to air it out to maybe to his benefit or maybe to his advantage. I don't know. But till Coker does something this year, I wouldn't trust him with Andy Dalton right now. That's my take on it. I would say Coker. Michael, in PPR, non-tight end premium, you sit 1. You sit Henry, Judy, or Bourne. I would sit Bourne. The outside corners of Houston, it's a bad matchup for him. If he's on Stingley's side part of the time, I don't see how that works. And even Lassiter, I think it's a problem. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. Rachel, hello, Stroud or Mariota. Man, you're gonna look way down in my rankings here. I have Mariota at 15 and I have Stroud at 18. Ultimately, I think that Mariota runs for more yardage. I don't know how Houston scores a lot of points here. And Mariota at least is probably going to have to chase points. So to me, that makes him more attractive start because it's going to be garbage time. Whereas I see that San Francisco Houston game, like that should be 19-16, 16-13. Now watch it again, up 40-37, but I don't see that. I think the probability of Mariota chasing points makes that the play I would suggest. Index of suspicion, repo. Thank you, Index of suspicion. Appreciate that greatly. Very nice of you. Ezekiel. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I try to say 49ers or Bucks defense. I'll go with the Bucs defense. The 49ers defense, I mean, they're just rally and tackle. They don't have the playmakers right now. The Bucs defense are going to blitz, and that blitz, that's enough. Where Rattler could make them. Rattler's been good at home, but I think the amount of blitz that we'll see, I think that you go with that one. Eric McCoy to center is out for New Orleans, and I think that's important because I think the Bucs might send some interior pressure. All right, next one, Golden, Dowdle, or Tez. I got to go with Dowdle here. Again, if the game gets out of control and the Bills get a huge lead, but maybe Dowdle catches passes then. But Buffalo's terrible against the run, and the blocking in Carolina has been amazing. Tight ends, the offensive, even if there were offensive linemen out, they've been getting great blocking from the backups. So I would give Dowdle. I think Dowdle's the safest floor, and he has a similar ceiling to all of them. All right, Volmaniac. Thank you. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Good luck to everybody as well. Yes, PPR need 1 to 2, depending on Drake, who is out obviously now. You posted this before then. None of us knew. From Kendrick Bourne, Bateman, and Franklin. Well, you all know I like Bateman, but that's with Lamar Jackson, who's not playing. So now this becomes real problematic because I don't see Tyler Huntley throwing the ball downfield. I don't even think that's in their game plan. So that worries me. So I'm going to have, and again, you heard me say I don't like Bourne's matchup at all. He's got, either Lassiter or Stingley. That's bad, but I still, Mac Jones loves him. So at least there's something. And then Franklin, yeah, I know the snaps are diminishing a bit, but I think we got to go with him as well. It's going to be hard to trust Bateman right now with Huntley at quarterback. But when Lamar comes back Thursday, get him as a wide receiver 4 or 5. And that's for deeper leagues. When I'm telling people about Bateman, I'm not saying he can be a wide receiver 2 or anything. I'm saying that when Jackson's back and we get Patrick Ricard in this week, the downfield passing game will open back up. It hasn't been there all year because when a card's off the field, defense can play him looser. That's why we haven't seen Andrews pop. That's why we haven't seen Bateman pop. But as soon as the band's back, which is supposed to be Thursday, and then you go back to last year's offense. They can't run last year's offense right now. Charlene, good to see you. Glad you're in the house. Mordenheim, Waddle, Marks, or Kamara. Look, last week, Waddle, it was one of those games. It was weather. It was Cleveland. Waddle's the 2 prior weeks was great. Was he in the 90-yard range? So there's no reason to sit Waddle here. And they're going to get him the ball. And Waddle's going to be just fine. Atlanta, their corners, nothing scary. They get Waddle in space. So even A.J. Terrell's fine. But I don't think that's like, oh, my gosh, can't play Waddle. So I don't see that. So I would go. Let me just make sure Super Chat's okay before I get back. I think it is. Yeah, I'm caught up on that. Okay. All right. So now I'm on Michael. Full PPR, Pacheco or Marks. I'm going to go with Pacheco here. Pacheco, last week, the only reason the snaps were down is because they were blowing out the Raiders. They pulled all their starters. So that was that. But Pacheco was playing, I think he played 77% of the snaps the prior week. He looks really explosive now. And Washington, if Pacheco gets to the perimeter, I could see like 2 long runs in this one because that team's speed is really lacking. And Pacheco is playing regularly now. So I would go with that. And then your tight end, Taylor, Loveland, or Njoku. So I have Njoku at 12, Mason Taylor at 9. But like I said, they're both great plays. Loveland, I don't, like I said, how many targets did Cole Kmet get? So it's not even like he's stepping into this role. Oh my gosh, I'm getting 7 targets. Kmet was getting 1 to 3 targets. So it wasn't even much of a role there, right? So I'm going to say, I think Mason Taylor has a pretty safe floor here. I have him ranked higher because I think his targets will be higher than Njoku's, but Njoku could make big plays here. So I think they're very close, but I would give a slight lean. Trust your gut. I give a slight lean to Mason Taylor. All right, what happened there? Something just pop off my screen. All right, hold on, I got this thing popped on my screen. I got to find where the question. Here it is. I found it. Okay, good deal. All right, next one, Marks or Hubbard. Again, Hubbard played, was it 53% of the snaps last week? He's still heavily involved in the offense. He didn't play well, but this is a good matchup for him. Buffalo struggled to stop the run. Now, again, this could be a blowout late, but I think Hubbard has a safer floor, and I don't know that the ceiling's better because Hubbard could have a game there too, so I would go with that route. And Brian, Pacheco or Pollard. Got to go with Pacheco here. Pollard, I think it's been like 6 or fewer PPR points the last 2 games. He's splitting work. It's just nasty. Pacheco is coming on, as I just said. So, oh, look at that. I get the headphones in here so I can hear James Koh. James Koh, welcome in. Happy
What's
game
up, man?
day.
How you doing, pal?
Things are great, man. The season is rolling on. We are in week 8. Where is it all going?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Man. Oh
And
man, it's been
active,
great
James.
though.
I
It's
haven't
been
even seen
fun.
the. I know I did tell everybody Drake London's out. I got that report, but let me see what else is going on here so we can go through that. Trey Hendrickson is active for the Bengals. Justin Fields is playing quarterback again. Don't know where his mind is at. What are your thoughts on Fields this week?
I don't know how you play him. I mean, you got no Garrett Wilson. I know Mason Taylor is in there, but he's banged up as well a little bit, right? Like I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know how you play him. Not after again getting benched and then being brought back because of injury. It's just man, where are we at? I mean, I guess he could listen with the rushing ability. Like he could go, he could have a top 10 finish, but I just with no Garrett Wilson, I think I'm out.
Yeah, it's rough. It's super rough to even consider starting him. Big problem. David Njoku is active, had a knee injury. They didn't take him off the injury report until this morning. Any concerns with Njoku if you're looking to start him in a fantasy league?
I think I'm more concerned about the emergence of Fannin than I am about the injury. To be honest with you, it's a great matchup, obviously against Denver. So, or excuse me, against Dallas. But yeah, no. I think he's like in tight end two territory. I'd rather play Fannin to be honest with you, but I just have him in tight end two territory.
And then we already knew AJ Brown would be out. Does this just mean more work for Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, or does Jahan Dotson take on a role? Some weeks they don't throw the ball. Last week they threw the heck out of it.
Yeah, no, I think for me it's Jahan Dotson, right? I mean, you take a look at this matchup that they've got this week, and it's pretty good. You know what I mean? So I like Dotson a lot, to be honest with you. The Giants have given up 14 or more PPR points to starting outside wide receivers every single week, except week number 1, and that was Terry McLaurin, who missed the entire preseason. This was his first game back, right? So in every single week, other than week number 1, the Giants have given up 14 or more PPR points to starting outside wide receivers. Dotson, I would imagine, is going to be the starting outside wide receiver for Philadelphia. I really like him this week.
Yeah, good plays. So Michael Penix is out. Drake London is out. A lot of questions for Darnell Mooney. Super flex leagues, there's certainly be questions for Kirk Cousins. I know
Right.
they should be able to run the ball extremely well at home and against Miami, but they probably throw some. So what about people who are asking questions? Super flex for Cousins and flex for Mooney.
Well, when London was in there, I was very confident that Kirk Cousins was going to be a top 12 quarterback play this week. So, I mean, shoot, forget about dual quarterback leagues. I was starting him in my single quarterback league, man. But with Drake London out, I think you do have to take down the upside here for Kirk Cousins. And I love Mooney. I think he's great. Where does Kirk Cousins sit in all this? Again, if you're in a super flex league, of course, just roll him out there because, I mean, what else are you going to do? You got 6 teams on a bye. You got multiple injuries all over the place. It's like, I mean, I'd still rather play Kirk Cousins than Tua. Let me tell you
Right?
right now. You
No
know what I mean?
question there. Oh my
So,
gosh, Tua.
yeah, I'll start him in a super flex league, and Darnell Mooney, I think, immediately becomes conservatively, he's a top 15 wide receiver play in my mind. I mean, aggressively, he could be a top 10 play.
And then one more, Lamar Jackson out. So we have Tyler Huntley, a quarterback. I refuse to call him Snoop. He hasn't earned a nickname in the NFL. That's my little
There
rant
you
there.
go.
It's all these marginal guys, Pop Douglas, all these guys with marginal names like Bam Knight. Come on, everybody has a
Oh
nickname.
yeah.
About
Oh,
that.
Bam Knight's got to be the worst, you know. It's like, come on, man. Like, what Bam Knight? Like, first of all, it's just because Bam is such a cool nickname, you know. It's like, I don't know.
Right?
Are we
Oh my
calling this
gosh.
dude Bam?
So with Tyler Huntley in, I don't see the Ravens calling outside passes to try to make him push it. I do see the potential throwing over the middle. Does that give any added benefit to Zay Flowers? Does it give any opportunity to Mark Andrews?
What do we do with Mark Andrews? Golly, I really have no idea. I don't know. He had that one pop game, and then other than that, he's just been invisible. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Snoop is interesting just because again he can get you some ground, yards on the ground, but again, not trusting it. I wouldn't have him as a top 12 play this week. No.
All right, let's get some questions, James. Dingo asks Troy Franklin against the Cowboys, Jalen Noel against the 49ers.
I love Jalen Noel. To be honest with you, I'm sorry I missed that first one. Who was the first guy?
Troy Franklin.
Oh yeah. Give me Jalen Noel. And I love Troy Franklin too. I wrote both of these guys down as sleepers this week, but I just think that Jalen Noel is an explosive player, more explosive than Troy Franklin. And I do believe that with Nico and Christian Kirk out, I think that Jalen Noel will be a first retarget in on a lot of plays here because he's a quick separator. And I think they need somebody who can quickly separate with that Houston offensive line. And the matchups, it's not great. It's not the best, but it's also not bad either. I mean, especially with San Francisco dealing with so many injuries.
Man, it's been brutal for those poor guys. All right, next question from Kevin is Bears defense. They are playing at the Ravens. Buccaneers defense. They are playing at New Orleans. I know the Bucs are going to blitz a lot. I know center Eric McCoy is out. My lean would be the Bucs. What do you think, James?
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%, golly, it's just, man, I don't know. I don't know why, but it's just, it feels like the Bucks could have a really nice game today.
Yeah,
I really can't get beyond just again, I like the matchup and I don't know. I'm just feeling it for the Bucks this week. I don't know why.
yeah, and coming off that Monday night game, Baker looked like he was amped up on like Red Bull or something for that game. He was like throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, he was like firing it high.
Totally.
And little Tez Johnson, you would need a step ladder to get up to the ball on some of those passes. Let's get back to the questions. Tony wants to know Daniel Jones or Bo Nix. Daniel Jones is playing the Titans, 14-point favorites. Nix is playing the Cowboys. Their defense. Who do you like in that one?
I kind of like Knicks because I think it's going to be more of a shootout. I think it's going to be a really high scoring game there. Denver's defense is really interesting, right? Because they have the talent and personnel to be a shutdown defense. They're not a shutdown defense, right? So it could go either way. But I mean, the bottom line is Dak has been playing masterful football. I think he's still going to put some points on the board. And as a result, I think that Denver's going to have to keep pace as well. So I really like the upside of Knicks there. And obviously we saw last week that, man, when Knicks gets it going, he can absolutely put a huge number on the board. Go ahead and give me Knicks right there.
3 games in the late window: Buccaneers, Saints, Dallas, Denver, Tennessee, Indy. I think a lot of people are going to be watching that Dallas Denver game, so I hope they don't let us down and we get that exciting game that we all want to see. Next question: you must drop one in order to pick one with London out. So you drop either Mason, Charbonnet, Dowdle, Montgomery, Henderson, or flex Henderson. Would you say drop Henderson because he's just not getting the football, right?
I mean, they're playing other guys ahead of him too, like other
Terrell Jennings.
Secondary. Yeah, Terrell Jennings. Who is Terrell Jennings, bro?
Right?
No, I think you can drop Henderson. I think you could drop him with ease.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Full PPR, receiver, flex, running backs. We need 3: Diggs, Worthy, Brees Hall, Judkins, Pacheco, Warren, Rashad White. Running back, receiver, flex.
Oh my goodness gracious. One wide receiver, one flex, one running back. Okay, so
Judkins has to be the running back, right?
Yeah, Judkins is in there for sure. I think you got to play Rashad White as well, so maybe throw him in the flex. Warren, I'm sorry, guys, sometimes these Warren questions are so confusing, like especially when you're saying flex. Are you saying Warren in Pittsburgh? You're saying Warren in Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. You're right. You know what? The way it's written, it looks like he has running backs packed together. So it has to be Jalen Warren. Good catch. I thought it was Tyler Warren too.
I'm like, I don't know where we're going here. But I do like Judkins is in there. Rashad White is in there. And golly, I would love to play Brees Hall too, but just the vibes are so off in New York. I'll tell you this. Brees Hall's the most talented player of this entire group, but
he is. I will say one thing for Diggs. Diggs is a man beater, and Cleveland plays him the highest rated man defense, and so he may be needed in this one. So consider that.
Yes.
All right. Next question: Kamara or Waddle?
Give me Kamara. Look, Kamara's not playing that well, but the bottom line is I want no piece of this Miami offense right now.
I can't argue with that one. Very hard to argue with that. Miami, oh my God, that is not a good place to be. I'd hate to be in that locker room, to be honest with you.
Right, exactly.
Dak Prescott or Caleb Williams. To me, this one is super easy. Dak Prescott.
You play Dak.
Yeah, and Caleb's coming up for a couple of really bad games from fantasy. So, but Dak doesn't really have bad games other than that weather game week 1. So, yeah, we're good there. Non-PPR, Javonte, Dobbins, or Brees Hall?
Non PPR. I will go. I actually like Javante here. First of all, he's been clutch. Like he's been so
Beast.
solid.
Yeah, he's been a
I'll
beast.
take Javante.
Full PPR. Tua, Fields, Huntley, Dalton. Oh my gosh. I get it. I get it.
Oh my gosh.
Are we really going to go with Andy Dalton here? Because they're probably going to be trailing Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably gives you the safest floor of all these guys. To be honest with you, if you're chasing upside, though, go ahead and give me Justin Fields.
You're
I
right.
don't know about you, man, but I don't. It's like I get it. Dalton looked good, I think, in like one game last year, but
Right.
other than that, he did not look good, man.
No,
So I think
no.
age is catching up with him quickly here. So I'll take Justin Fields.
Yeah, you're right about Fields because Fields has real upside. He might get you an 8, but he might get you a 30. And he could make a
Right.
bad game and get you 30.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that strongly, yeah, Fields for sure on that one. Mooney or Franklin,
I like Mooney.
same.
I can't get away from the matchup against Miami. He's going to see like 10 plus targets, bunch of air yards. Kirk Cousins has shown an affinity throwing to Mooney too. I really like Mooney this week.
Bucks D at home again. I mean, sorry, Bucks D on the road against the Saints. Chiefs against the Commanders in Kansas City.
Man. I'll take Bucks D. I'll take Bucks D.
Yeah, I
They
like
haven't been
that too.
playing great, but I think they're it's a better matchup than what they got with KC there.
Having their center out is huge. He calls the protection. Spencer Rattler's still a very, very inexperienced quarterback. When
You're
you're
right.
having that center out who's a veteran who can always call protections, those blitzes are going to be a real problem for Spencer Rattler today. Everybody consider that one. So that's going to be something to think about. Next one, another defensive question. Falcons playing at home against Miami, which anybody against Miami looks good to me, or the Patriots at home against the Browns.
I'll take the Falcons. Low key, Falcons have been crazy good defensively.
Yep.
They have gotten no headlines whatsoever, Jim. But when you watch these guys play, they are flying around the football field, and I think they've got him. I think Raheem Morris has got him playing really good football.
This is funny. I'm going to click down a couple questions because somebody had the exact same question. So we answered it for two people. Look at that. All right. Abraham,
Beautiful.
Pollard or Alec Pierce?
Um, what's funny? Well, I'm going to say Alec Pierce, but I don't know
Yep.
why. I don't know why, but I just feel like Alec Pierce is going to score a touchdown today. Here's a weird stat. He has scored double-digit PPR points in 3 of 5 games played today, and he has not scored a touchdown all year long. So he has actually gotten it done. I know Josh Downs is back, guys, but I do think that Pierce has evolved as a player. They've utilized him in a more creative way. I really like Alec Pierce. Again, I don't know why. It's a gut feeling totally, but I do think that Alec Pierce finally gets into the end zone.
Pierce is a real part of that offense. He plays most of the snaps. Downs only plays about 50% of the snaps this year. He used to play 76. So it's Pierce's role. So that's interesting. Anyway, I'm not going to get on that soapbox right now. Get off it. Keon Coleman or Tez Johnson, full PPR.
Jim, I know what you're about to say. It's like Josh Downs is such a good football player.
Yes.
Like he's got to.
Yes. It angers me. It angers me. But they're
Get
winning
him on
every
the football
game.
Field. Get him on the football field. Golly. This is like me and Jaden Reed in Green Bay, It's like, oh my
gosh.
God. Why is
Yes.
Jaden Reed playing less than 50% of the snaps? Makes no sense. Anyways, full PPR, Keon Coleman, Tez Johnson. I will take, you know what? I'm going to take Tez here just because I think he's utilized, more in this offense. Keon Coleman's too risky and too inconsistent. And to be honest with you, look, these guys are both like high risk, high reward players. Keon Coleman could absolutely get behind the defense on a scramble drill and catch you a 50-yard touchdown, and I end up looking like an idiot here. But consistency wise, I'll take Tez Johnson.
I agree. I mean, you could tell Baker's going to him. So
yes,
that says a lot.
Correct.
Buffalo, we got a lot of defensive questions today.
I know, right?
Wait, the full PPR, that's funny.
I know.
All right,
sure that matters.
Buffalo defense, they are playing on the road to Carolina and Andy Dalton, or the Denver defense against Dallas.
Again, I'll take Buffalo.
Yeah.
Carolina, it's too easy of a matchup. Andy Dalton, I think people remember Andy Dalton not from last year, Jim. I think they remember him from 2 years ago.
Yes.
And I think that's what they're kind of sort of banking on, and I'm not doing that. I think Buffalo, again, they're not a shutdown defense either. I think they're highly overrated as a defense, but they're not bad. It's not a bad defense. I think Buffalo gets it done.
Hey, if he takes his helmet off, we might see some gray with that red now. It's
You
very
know,
possible.
for
That's
sure.
that's a possibility. Been around a bit. All right, next one. Full PPR flex need one. Jalen Warren or Tet McMillan?
I have a blind spot for Tet. I just think he's such a good football player, man. I'm not sure, but I don't know, Jim. I'm going to defer to you on this one because
Well, I'm going
I'm
to back you
100%
here.
not sure.
I'm going to back here because look, I think that Bryce Young in the middle of the field, they don't get along real well. Well, Tet McMillan moves all over the formation, so when he goes inside, he doesn't get a lot of work done. But I think Andy Dalton's going to sling it to him. They're going to trail. As bad as Dalton is, I think he's smart enough to say, "Oh, I got to get the ball to this guy." I think that's what
Totally.
he probably decides to do.
Totally.
All right, and then we got let's see, next one. With London out, do I go with Pitts as my flex or stay with Woody Marks?
Oh, 10-man league. Okay. Yeah, you got superstars all over the place. I like Pitts a lot in this one. And again,
Yeah.
I mean, I like Mooney too, but I think Pitts is going to see a bunch of targets as well. They've utilized him, I think, more smartly in this offense this year. I like where he lines up. I like the routes that he's running and his utilization in this offense. I go with Pitts.
All right, and then next we got Hubbard, Pacheco, or Algier.
This one's tough.
It is very tough.
I'm probably going to trust Pacheco the most. I think he's been playing he's been playing so much better than he did to start the year.
Yes.
By the way, Casey's offense, Jim, people are not talking about this enough, even still, but the Death Star is almost fully operational now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know, they've got all their weapons back. Everyone's healthy. Pacheco's running better. The offense is really good. What do we like? We like starting running backs with dominant snap share in good offenses. Check, check, check. Pacheco checks all those boxes.
I called it out 3 weeks ago. I noticed something changing with the Chiefs, and I said, "This is not." Last year, I never felt good about 15-2. I never felt they were actually still losing games against Jacksonville. And I'm like, "Oh no, they're coming around. This is going to be like you said. The Death Star's going to be back." So yeah, totally with you on that one. All right, next one we got Mooney or Franklin. This one's pretty easy, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go Mooney here. I
Yeah.
think too much volume, similar, roles in the offense as downfield guys too. Franklin out of the slot he's been very up and down. And
his
I do
snaps are
like
going
Franklin.
down, too.
Yeah,
He's losing
and listen,
snaps.
I do like Franklin. I do. It's just, in this matchup, especially against Dallas, I like him a lot. But I think Mooney, again, gives you similar ceiling and a much better floor.
And then the second question, stash Jaden Reed. I know what you're going to answer.
I don't think it's worth it. Look, I don't think you need to stash him. If you've got an extra IR spot, for sure. I mean, what the hell? Why you're losing nothing here? Go ahead and add him in there. If you've got the extra IR spot, if you need to drop someone to pick up Jaden Reed, no, we're not doing that.
Based on the early timeline, he could be back in 2 weeks. So we'll see how that shakes out. No word about him. I'm putting him back on the return list, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You got an IR spot. Why not? Judkins or Dowdle?
I like Judkins. I think Dowdle's been getting by on explosives, and I don't know, for some reason, I just don't think that he's going to get an explosive against Buffalo, even though Buffalo has been giving up some plays here and there. Also, game script worries me a little bit for Dowdle as well.
All right, we'll do one more, James, and I'll let you roll the rest of the way. Fannin or Mason Taylor?
Again, I'm going to go Fannin here just because of health. Mason Taylor was a real, spotty, questionable. Wasn't sure if he was going to play at all. I think he's dealing with the quad injury right now. And obviously the offense itself stinks, man. So not that Cleveland's offense is any better.
Right, exactly.
But I do think that he'll see, more consistent target share. And hopefully I think they've got better touchdown upside than the Jets.
Everybody, great to see you today. James, great to see you. Have a great rest of the show. And everybody, good luck in week 8.
Yeah, man. Jim. All right, pal. All right, let's get it going here, guys. Again, if you guys have questions, obviously throw them into the chat, and we'll get to as many of these bad boys as humanly possible. This is from Delroy, full PPR, start 2, David Njoku, Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson. You've got to start 2 of these guys? Oh, man, you are down in the dumps with me, pal. I like it, brother. David Njoku, Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson. Give me Hunter Henry. He's been, integral part of this offense in New England. I had blinders on to Hunter Henry because I think he is just a guy at this point in his career. I loved him when he was younger, but I think he's not running that well. But it doesn't matter. Who cares if he's not running that well? No one loves to utilize him. Give me Hunter Henry right here, and I will take I'll take Juwan Johnson because I think he's the healthier of the two. I think both of them are dealing with some stuff though, but and again, more competition for targets for David and Njoku when we're talking about Harold Fannin as well. All right, ETW Byrne, Ramondre, play him. Oh, you need one? Okay, Ramondre, McLaurin, Chuba, Shaheed. So I'm not trusting McLaurin yet, obviously coming back from that injury. Chuba's been phased out of the offense for the most part. Rashid Shaheed is really interesting, but he's very inconsistent. Give me Ramondre. Give me Ramondre here. Again, we keep burying the guy, but man, the only thing, he just keeps going out there and producing, man. I don't know. I'll take Ramondre right there. Pedro Resto. Falcons D or Colts D. I'm going to take Falcons D. I'll take Falcons D. Tua's still playing. He's turnover machine. They've got no. It's either him or Ewers, and Ewers is. First of all, Miami, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all drafting Quinn Ewers of all people? Quinn Ewers stunk in college. Like, why are we? You're taking Quinn Ewers? You think somebody who can't play in like at Texas of all places, like he's surrounded by unbelievable talent. The guy can't play. You think he's going to play well in the pros? What? I'm so confused, man. Give me Falcons D. Again, underrated defense. They've been playing pretty good football. Let's go. London out. This is from Adam. London out. Start Mooney or JCM. Give me Mooney. I don't know what's up with. I can't pick. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I have no idea when JCM's going to have a good game. I have no clue. No, like when it's a bad matchup, he plays well. When it's a good matchup, he plays like ass. Like I don't understand. I don't understand the usage. Sometimes they play him a lot. Sometimes they take him off the field. It's maddening. I have no idea what to do with JCM. I know he can play. But the usage has been crazy. The matchups don't make any sense, man. I don't get it, man. But I'll take Mooney. Great matchup against Miami. And I do think he's going to see more than 10 targets and a bunch of air yards in this game. So, and Kirk Cousins has shown that he likes to throw them as well. Okay, James. So, Genia. I think I butchered that. My bad. Algier or Otten as a PPR flex? I'm going to take Algier here. Miami has been absolutely terrible against the run. Let me give you a couple stats here. Hold on. Miami has been so bad. They have given up a 20-plus PPR score in like 5 of the last 6 games or something, right? But beyond that, God, where is that data, man? Come on, bro. I'm struggling out here. My bad. Okay, they have allowed 128 rush yards per game. That is last in the NFL. They've allowed 5.2 yards per carry to opposing running backs, third worst in the NFL. They're worst in yards before contact. They are second worst in explosive run rate. They're bad. It's one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, period. It's a smash spot for Bijan. But that being said, Tyler Algier is in a really good spot as well, so I like him. Brian Pope, Jennings or DJ Moore? I will take DJ Moore here. Baltimore's defense has struggled quite a bit here, and I know DJ Moore hasn't been the best, but man, Juwan Jennings, he doesn't look like he wants to be out there. Do y'all agree? I just feel you're talking about Juwan. I'm hoping you're talking about Juwan Jennings here, but Juwan Jennings, I feel like, man, he just doesn't look like he wants to be out there at all. I know he's dealing with a bunch of broken ribs too, so I'm sure that has something to do with it, man, but yeah, I'm not trusting it. Go ahead and give me DJ Moore, who I think is in a pretty good matchup against Baltimore here. Rashid Shaheed, Troy Franklin, 14-team PPR. I love this. Guys. By the way, I did a whole sleeper thing, sleeper video on this channel. If you guys are not, subscribed, that video drops every single Friday. If you guys want to check out my sleeper list every single week, I talk about guys like Troy Franklin regularly. So again, I try to get to at least 10 sleepers at every depth, whether you're in a 10-team league, 14-team league. Hopefully I've got you covered there. Anyways, I really like Troy Franklin this week, but I think I trust. Oh, man. You know what? No, I'm going to say Troy Franklin. I think Troy Franklin finally gets behind the defense. I think he's going to find a little bit of a soft spot behind in a seam. You know what I mean? Like running a little seam route. I don't know why. I just got visions of Troy Franklin running a seam route, getting behind that defense and scoring a touchdown. Hopefully it's a high-scoring game here as well. I know Denver, like I was telling with Jim, like Denver's defense has shut down talent, but they have been not shut down. You know what I mean? Like you could score on Denver now. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying they're bad, but they do give up points. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on here. I think Jim got to all the super chat questions. I am not sure, but I think he did. All right, with Mason, or excuse me, this is from Mason. With London out, start 3: Mooney, Schultz, Goddard, or Jennings. Well, we're definitely playing Mooney. That's for dang sure. I think I'll take Schultz and Goddard ahead of Jennings. Man, Jennings is a very difficult read. I'm not going to lie to you. First of all, it's not a good matchup against Houston. Houston's defense is playing really, really well. And Jennings himself is just so banged up. I'm just not sure. I'll take Mooney, Schultz, and Goddard right there. Oh, nope. We got a new super chat question. Here we go. AJ the Great, full PPR. Let me get to this one. I get to the super chat. Full PPR, Judkins or Dobbins? I have a very soft lean towards Judkins. Again, 51% confidence here because I do think that I like both of these plays here. Dobbins actually been playing really good football too, and we'll see. Obviously he's got the better matchup against Dallas, but yeah, I am feeling it a little bit more with Judkins. I think he's leaned on a little bit more. Wow, man. You know what, AJ? I'm really, the more I start thinking about the game scripts and everything, though, I'm starting to lean a little towards Dobbins, though. This one's got my brain in a pickle. You know what? Let me ruminate on this one a little bit more. Let me get to the super chat question, and I'll get back to that one. Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Jay Cooper, Coop RM, super sticker. Appreciate you, pal. If no one got to this one, let me get to this one here real quick. Mooney, Pittman, Hall, PPR for a wide receiver flex. I'm going to go Pittman in the wide receiver spot, Mooney in the flex spot. Just out of respect for Pittman. You put him in the wide receiver spot. You guys know what I'm talking about. You put your more trusted players in those positional spots. You know what I mean? Like your less trusted players, you put them in the flex spot. You guys know what I'm talking about, man. I know you guys play this way. Don't make it seem like I'm crazy. I know y'all play this way. You put your favorite players in the positional spots, right? And then you put your more, not as trusted players in the flex. I know you guys do this. Come on, bro. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I know y'all do this. Anyways, okay, let's get back to it, man. Okay. And again, by the way, when I switch between super chat and like the live chats, like it gets a little messy here. Okay, so if I miss a question, I fully apologize. Volmanac, but I'm back. Volmanac, R.J. Harvey or Brashard Smith. I think I'm gonna go R.J. Harvey. The reason being is that Brashard, Kareem Hunt is anticipated to play. Now that could change. But he is anticipated to play. So I think that Brashard Smith is a little bit too risky for me. I know R.J. Harvey's going to see some work at the very least. And again, it's a pretty solid matchup as well against Denver. So I'll take R.J. Harvey there. I don't have a great read on this because, again, sometimes Harvey gets iced out. But the bottom line is, man, I'll take this guy because, again, Brashard Smith, how many touches is Brashard Smith going to even see? You know what I'm saying? Like 5, 6? Man, I don't know, dude. That seems extremely risky. So yeah, I'll take RJ Harvey right there. Samuel Castillo, Mims. Wow, we're going into the trick. McLaurin or Brashard Smith. Again, I just talked about Brashard Smith. Go ahead and give me McLaurin. Mims is an interesting spot. Don't get me wrong. I could absolutely see him flying behind the defense as well. Man, I can't tell you how locked in I am on Twitter right now just because it's like, God, all these injuries. It's just so insane. Like last minute injuries too. Like Lamar's out. All of a sudden Drake London is out. Like, am I tripping? I saw nothing in regards to, I know London was on the injury report, but that's different than being like threatened to miss a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see anyone writing about Drake London potentially missing this game, bro. Like, where did that come from? I'm just so confused. Anyways, give me McLaurin here. Potentially high-scoring game against Kansas City. McLaurin will get utilized a lot more consistently than Marvin Mims. I always want to say Denzel Mims, too, just because the other wide receiver. Anyways, whatever. Who cares? No one cares about me. Tyler Algier. Bill, a.k.a. JCM, a.k.a. Ja'Cory Krosky. I always want to call him Ja'Cory McCroskey. McCroskey sounds, I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Or Rashad Stevenson, Ramondre Stevenson, rather, in half PPR. I think I'm going to take Stevenson here. Again, we keep burying the guy, and I don't think he's been playing that great, but man, the coaching staff loves this dude. Look, we can't ignore running backs that are seeing 70% snap share. We just can't, and that is exactly where Stevenson is at right now. Jose Avalos, what's up, brother? Good to see you this morning. Scat Man or Swift? I think Swift is a little banged up. Give me Scat Man. Swift is a little banged up, and Scat's just been playing so well. Come on, dude, let's go. Give me the Juggernaut. Let's go. Full PPR, yeah, it doesn't matter. Give me Scat. By the way, the other thing about Swift is that they've been utilizing Monangai a little bit more. Like, Swift's snap share has gone down in 3 straight weeks, and Monangai's snap share has gone up in 3 straight weeks as well. So I know injuries have played a part of it too, but I'll take Scatterbo. Yeah. And again, by the way, injuries will play a factor, I think, in Swift's usage today as well. Okay, Fantasy Meatball. First of all, that's an elite handle. I know that this is for Jim and as well. Awesome analysis as usual. 100%. Jim's the best. Good luck to everyone in week number 8. So yeah, first of all, yeah, Jim deserves the flowers. 100%. I'm just keeping the seat warm over here, man. I do what I do, but Jim's the best. 100%. I love Jim. OMG. OMG, it's Sleek. Oh, okay, I got you. OMG, it's Sleek. Sleek, are you in my Sleek? I feel like you're in my sleeper league. What is it? You know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. The Scott Fishbowl. My God, my brain's not working right now, dog. I feel like you're in my Scott Fishbowl league. Are you? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tripping here. Start 2, Jalen Knoll. Jalen Knoll, Judy, Mims, or Monangai? Jalen Knoll, for sure. I love Jalen Knoll. I think he's such a good football player. And again, target share, snap share, wide open. Nico Collins out, Christian Kirk out. Jalen Knoll, I think, is one of my favorite sleepers this week. And I am going to lean very not confidently into Monangai. Again, if he sees 50% snap share, which I think is possible, I think he's in a pretty decent spot. Baltimore's really struggled defensively this year. So I will take Jalen Knoll and Monangai. Dude, listen, we could take Judy out. Judy's not good. He's dropping the ball all over the place. Quarterback play has been terrible. Maybe he scores a touchdown. I look like an idiot here, but I'm fading Judy every single week, man. Like I'm out. I'm out on Judy. Jim R. Jimmer. Dobbins, Dowdle, Swift, pick 2. Okay, and it's full point PPR. Okay, that's good. We're going Dobbins, 100%. And you know what? Give me Rico. Give me Rico. I don't think he's going to pop this week like he has in other weeks, but I will take Dobbins. I'll take Rico. I think he has whatever the coaching staff has said. I don't think that matters. He's the starter. Whether Chuba actually starts the game, but it doesn't matter. Like Dowdle's, to me, in my mind, I think he's the actual starter, right? even if he's coming off the bench. Like, look at the snap share and all that stuff, man. Like, nah. It's Dowdle and Dobbins for me. The D&D boys. Let's go. Della Jeezy, what's up, brother? Dowdle or JCM, gang? Let's go. Oh man. Every single time I advocate for JCM, I get it wrong, but I'm just gonna go with him again. Um, Game script worries me there in the Carolina game. I know I just said play Dowdle over Swift, but still, though, I would have Dowdle over Swift. But if we're talking Dowdle over JCM, game script does worry me just a little bit here. I will take JCM. I'm going to take JCM right there. Not a ton of confidence here because I cannot, for the life of me, figure out Jacory's playtime or productivity. I just can't. It's so difficult. 710 in my veins. 710 in my veins. Where is 710? I'm going to look this up now. Area code 710. Wait, what? What's I'm confused here. Why doesn't it say? What? Oh, really? Okay, 710 area code. What? Is reserved for special U.S. government services and was the first area code used for the U.S. government. Oh. What? Okay, cool. Well, I'm so confused. I see the 3 digits. I'm thinking, okay, I thought we were talking about like a city, you know? What? Okay, yeah, the U.S. government has this area code. Wow, weird. I didn't know they even had such a thing, but okay, cool. Wandale or Flowers? Flowers with freaking Snoop Huntley? I'll probably pass. I'll take Wandale. Wandale has been utilized a lot more, obviously, in this offense with Jackson Dart. He's been like the go-to guy for some reason. I'll take Wandale. Ripple effects. Kincaid or Otten? Is Kincaid playing? I'm going to look this up. I know he was banged up. Dalton Kincaid. I know he was banged up, but is he playing? Okay, yes. Okay, just came in. Dalton Kincaid is active for the Bills. Came in 1 hour ago. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. I knew he was questionable. I guess I'll take Otten here. If Kincaid is that banged up, I'm a little worried about it. I'll take Otten right here. I don't feel great about this one either, though, because Otten's ceiling is so boring, dude. He's just, I mean, again, he's like a stock. He's like your stock Madden tight end, you know. He's got like a 65 rate, like a 68 rating. He's fine, you know. He's not great. He's fine. J. Coop, Higgins, Mooney, Moore. Oh my gosh, what is going on? I need to pick one out of these dudes. Okay, give me. I'll take Higgins. No, I'll take Mooney. I'll take Mooney right here. Juwan Johnson, Mason Taylor, Loveland. Happy. J. Coop, help you narrow down the questions and give me full names. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at Jay Johnson, I'm like, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. And then I'm like, I got to like do some mental gymnastics. Like, okay, I think he's talking about tight end Juwan Johnson. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, help me help y'all. You know what I mean? Like, give me some names, narrow down your questions. I don't know. Anyways, I'll take Mooney at the wide receiver spot, and at the tight end spot, I'll take Loveland. I'll take Loveland right there. He's one of my favorite sleepers this week. Again, with Cole Kmet out with a bad back in that matchup. 710 is back, I think, right? Standard scoring, Wandale, Jalen Waddle. Start 2, bench 1. Golly, man. I guess I will bench Zay Flowers. I don't like Zay Flowers or Jalen Waddle at all, but I'll take Wandale. I'll take Jalen Waddle. I think Waddle will at least see targets. Oh, man, that's so hard, dude. but yeah, I'll take Wandale and Jalen Waddle, I guess. I don't have a great feeling about that one. Jose Avalos, Cousins, or Caleb Williams? I will. If Drake London was playing, man, I would say Cousins with utmost confidence, dude. I don't have a lot of confidence in this read here. I will say Caleb, though. Let me give you a couple stats here. I did have Caleb written down as one of my sleepers this week. Hold on, I got a stat here for you. Caleb Williams versus Baltimore. The Ravens have given up the second most fantasy points per game to the quarterback position. And in recent weeks, C.J. Stroud and Patrick Mahomes tossed 4 touchdowns each. Caleb Williams has scored 2+ touchdowns in 4 of 6 games played. I think he gets back on track this week is what I wrote. That's what I wrote. So I will take Caleb, but again, not utmost confidence there. We're hoping for a higher scoring game, but we're not going to get it with Tyler Huntley. You know what? No. Let's go back. Let's go with Cousins. Give me Cousins. Matchup is too nice against Miami. And again, I do wonder if Chicago will even. They're not going to be forced to throw. So yeah, I'll take Kirk. Mason Taylor or Schultz. Mason Taylor's got the better matchup. He's got a great matchup, as a matter of fact. He's going to be utilized a lot. Schultz will be utilized a lot too, but the matchup is not as good. I'll take Mason Taylor. I am worried about the injury, but Schultz is has such boring upside anyways. Who cares? Just give me Mason Taylor. Titans could throw it 45 to 50 times today. Yeah, you would hope so. I mean, they just don't, though. Uncle Ted, I hear you, though. They totally could. I mean, they're going to be, dude, this spread is crazy, man. Like 14.5 is insane. That's borderline disrespectful. Borderline disrespectful, man. But the offense itself has been so bad. But you're right. The Titans could throw it 45 to 50 times today. It makes me wonder about some of their other pieces like Alec Iomanor. Will he be a decent, volume play? Could be. Mason with London out, start 3, drop 1. I feel like we got this one already. Yeah, we did. Love or Flacco this week? I'll go Jordan Love. I mean, at some point the bottom's going to fall out for Flacco. Maybe it's this week. I don't know. I'll take Jordan Love. He has not been playing that well either, but I trust his offense a little bit more, or I trust his. I should say I trust his consistency a little bit more than Joe Flacco. All right, start 1. Bourne, Spears, Freiermuth, or Coker. I am going to MDov. I am gonna lean on Kendrick Bourne right here. Again, Mac Jones is back. He loves Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, I'll take Kendrick Bourne. I'll say this one actually with some confidence. Actually, to be honest with you, yeah, go ahead and give me that one. Flowers upside with Snoopy or just throw in Wandale? Yeah, just give me Wandale, bro. Jose Avalos, Colts DST or Bears DST? I will take Colts DST. They're going to be flying around, ears pinned behind their back. Again, Uncle Ted just talked about how they might throw 45 to 50 times. Okay, well, that means there's going to be a lot of sacks available. That means there's going to be a lot of picks available. And that is how you score in fantasy defense, right? Like, holding a guy. I mean, again, it's not like Tennessee's scoring a lot of points either, right? So Colts DST, I think pretty easily actually for me. Dallas will eat man coverage up. Dallas Goddard or Dallas offense? I don't know. Pick 2. Chase Brown, Ramondre Stevenson, Debo, JCM, worthy marks. Pick 2. If I'm picking 2, I think I am going. I think I'm going to go the first 2. Chase Brown, Ramondre. I think that's my lean. Worthy interests me, but there's a serious competition for targets. Oh my gosh, I have so many super chats. My bad. Oh my gosh, what did I do here? Dude, my bad. Okay, here we go. It's okay to laugh. Kincaid or Schultz? Full PPR. Dude, that's on me, guys. Kincaid or Schultz? Again, I'm gonna go Schultz. I'm really not trusting the Kincaid injury for some reason, man. I don't know. Makes me a little worried that he was so banged up that there was a real question as to whether or not he was going to go. And dude, talk about competition for targets. They throw to like 17 guys in Buffalo. I'll go Schultz right here. Because again, the competition for targets at Houston a lot less. Obviously, Nico Collins is out. That's a huge target share available, and Christian Kirk is out as well. I wonder if C.J. Stroud depends and leans on old reliable Schultzy there in Houston. I think he's a much safer play for me. Miami, 5-12. One wide receiver, one flex, full point PPR. Ramondre, DJ Moore, Waddle. Give me Ramondre for sure in the flex. And for the wide receiver spot, give me DJ Moore. Give me DJ Moore right there. Again, I want no piece of Miami's offense right now, man. I obviously don't feel good about it. I don't think anyone feels good about it. Mr. Trace Cerro Cinco, Mr. 310. No. What's Cinco? Cinco's 5. 315. Mr. 315. What's the 315 area code, y'all? Do we know? We'll look this up now. 315 area code. What is it? What we got? Okay, it's New York. It's upstate New York. It serves major cities like Syracuse, Utica. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and Watertown. Okay, got you. The 315. All right, cool. Drop Ridley for an upside stash like Tootin or Isaiah Davis. No. I mean, how much first of all, let me just clarify one thing with Tootin. How much upside do we have with Tootin? I'm actually not even 100% sure Tootin is the handcuff. I mean, they're getting LaQuint Allen in there just as much as Tootin. So I would say I don't think there's that much. And Isaiah Davis, while I like the player, if something happens to Brees, do you want to play Isaiah Davis on that Jets offense? Maybe not. Look, if you're going to drop Ridley, which is fine, that's fair. I have no problem dropping Ridley, by the way. I think he's given up on the season too. I would probably prefer to stash Isaiah Davis over Tootin because, again, I'm not 100% sure Tootin's even the guy. LaQuint Allen has been getting so much play that, again, I'm not even sure Tootin's the guy. So I would maybe drop Ridley for Isaiah Davis, but, again, that's super speculative. I feel like there's other players that you can add from a speculative standpoint that have higher upside than Isaiah Davis, to be honest with you. Okay. Thomas Colucci. Wow, what a name. I love that name. Thomas Colucci. You sound like a supervillain for some reason. Mooney. No disrespect. I think it's a cool name. Darnell Mooney or Pittman. I want to play Pittman. I always want to play Pittman. Man, Mooney's so interesting though. But give me Pittman. I'll take Pittman right there. Maybe this one's gonna eat me up. Downs is back too. Dang it. You know what? Give me Mooney. Screw it, man. Thomas, let's ride, baby. Thomas, let's ride. Let's go, Mooney, man. You know what we got to lose? Let's go. 2 running backs: Hall, Dobbins, and Swift. I'm gonna go Hall and Dobbins. Oh man, Swift is so interesting, but again, if he's in a 50-50 timeshare with Monungai, I'll still take Hall. Too talented. Who knows? And I'm assuming maybe, and again, I actually like Hall with Justin Fields in there as well. Hopefully a couple read options and, they kind of sort of get Hall loose there. I don't know. I'll go Mooney, Hall, Dobbins. That's a tough one, though. That's a tough one. Okay. But yeah, again, we got one more super chat. My bad. Okay, here we go. Scott Cobe. Hey, what's up, brother? Good to see you, Scott. You need one. Jim DK, Hunter Henry. Calvin Austin or Jalen Knoll. You need one of that group. I don't like Chim DK. Tennessee's offense terrible. Hunter Henry he's fine. Calvin Austin, no. I love Aaron Rodgers today, but Calvin Austin, I just, who knows who's going to see the touchdowns? Probably going to be like 17 tight ends catching touchdowns for Rodgers. I'm good. I don't need Calvin Austin in my life. I'm good. Jalen Noel is probably the most interesting to me. It's between Hunter Henry and Jalen Noel for me. And if I'm gonna chase upside, I'll chase the Jalen Noel upside. I think Hunter Henry probably gives you the safest floor. I'll say Noel gives you better upside. And again, I do think that they will use Noel a lot. He's a quick separator. And Houston's offensive line is bad. You know what I'm saying? So they need guys that can separate quick and get the ball out too. I think Jalen Noel will be utilized. Dude, and by the way, great football, like explosive. I guess great's going a little too far, but really good football player. Okay, explosive, great after the catch, great hands, sticky hands. Like, I don't know why they haven't been utilizing him more. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'll go with Jalen Noel right here. Man, super chat questions flying in here. The Ball Show, what's up, brother? JCM or Dowdle, half PPR. JCM questions get my mind in a pretzel here, man. But I will say JCM. It's going to be a higher scoring game. I think there will be more touchdown upside here for JCM over Rico Dowdle. So there is a question and a concern that that it ends up being a blowout there, Buffalo versus Carolina. Buffalo has this weird tendency, though, right, to like play down to their level of competition. So maybe you're right. Maybe it'll be a little bit more competitive than people are thinking here. But let me give you a couple of different stats, and then I'll let you decide here. Okay, Kansas City against running backs is allowing 4.63 yards per carry. That is a bottom 10 figure, actually bottom 8. Right, they're also bottom 10 in yards before contact allowed. They are bottom 6 in run stuff rate. So the running defense actually has not been great, to be honest with you. They also allow easy completions to running backs as well. And then when you take a look at Buffalo has actually allowed the the 6th most fantasy points per game to running backs. They've allowed the 3rd most rush yards. They're dead last. I did not know this. They're dead last in yards per carry allowed to running backs. So yeah, that's interesting. 5.44 yards per carry allowed to opposing running backs. That's wild, bro. Who have they faced? Oh, they faced Bijan. Oh, that's why. Okay. They faced Bijan, so they got killed there. They also faced Devin Achane, which obviously hurt them a little bit, and then Derrick Henry in week number 1 absolutely destroyed them for 182 total yards. Okay, so take that as you will. The great players played great. The average players played average. Okay, Bijan went crazy. He had 238 total. Achane had 91 total yards, and Derrick Henry had 182. Breece Hall had 38 total. Ramondre had 27 total. Alvin Kamara had 72 total, which is pretty good. But I think most of that was actually through the air. So, yeah, do with that as you will. I am leaning JCM right there, even though the numbers would say, okay, maybe Buffalo's defense can be run on just a little bit. So yeah, I'm leaning JCM. All right, let's get back to some of these other questions here. I think I am here, dude, but I'm not 100% sure, man. Wait, where am I, dude? Am I here? Maybe. Uncle Ted. Titans win today against the Colts. Wow. That'd be crazy. 14.5 point dog winning that game outright against the Colts. That'd be crazy, man. I would 100% give you your flowers next week if that ends up happening, because I don't see it. Lucius Varenus. Breece Hall or Judkins? I'm going to go Judkins here. Give me Judkins. half PPR. Again, both of those offenses stink out loud, but I think Judkins is playing better, and the vibes around Brees are just terrible right now. Worthy or Mooney now that London is out. By the way, the other thing I'll say about Judkins too, the Stefanski run scheme is legit. I like it, and yeah, I think he's a great fit for it. Jack Huber. Worthy. Oh my God, I got 10 minutes. I got to get to these questions, bro. I can't believe how behind I am. Worthy or Mooney now that London is out, full PPR. Give me Mooney, 100% for sure. Angelo, 84-24 flex. Goddard over Dobbs. No, I like Dobbs over Goddard, 100%. Harlington Rodriguez, I appreciate you, pal. I do hope to see you next week, actually. Andy Olette, what a name. I love it. London owner, no bench options. Who should I pick up between Franklin Mims, Knoll, or Austin? I'm gonna go Knoll right here. I'm gonna go Knoll. For me, it's either between Franklin or Knoll, and I will take Knoll. I think he's got similar upside with a better floor. Delroy, full PPR, Tez, or Chim DK. Oh, Tez easily. No question in my mind. I'm taking Tez. Hunter Henry or Evan Ingram. I will take Hunter Henry here. They throw to 15 different guys in Denver. Evan Ingram might get iced out at any moment. Jay up. Starting Hendy or Chubb in a must-win week. Hendy. You talking about Travion Henderson? We can't play him. We can't play Travion Henderson. Can't do it. Give me Chubb if that's what we're talking about, unless I'm like completely misreading this one. Jay Coop, Higgins, Mooney, Moore, Io Manor, Downs. Dude, too long, brother. I'm sorry. Harlington, forgot to mention. I didn't even see this question, bro. I have Alex P starting since the sleeper video. Oh, okay. I appreciate you, man. Forgot to mention Tez. Okay. I like Tez Johnson. And I like Alec Pierce. But I like both. But I don't know. For whatever reason, I feel like Alec Pierce is going to score a touchdown, man. So do with that as you will. Night Train. Man, what a handle, bro. I love Night Train, the handle. Flex, Mark or Otten? Mark Andrews? My guy. I need more info. Lucius, would you go Metcalf or Waddle? Oh, Metcalf. Oh, easily. I want no part of that Miami offense, man. Sleepers! Let's go. Oh, man. Harlington, good to see you, bro. Okay, let's go. Mooney or Jalen Knoll? I'm going to go Mooney here, man. 100%. No question in my mind. Juan Pulido, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Jack Huber, start Dart or Love? Oh, this one's interesting. I will start... oh my gosh. I think I'm going to start Love. Pittsburgh's defense has been bad. I'll start Love right there. Jackson Dart has been absolutely reliable and unbelievable, but I think that Philly gets him this week. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I know they didn't get him last time, but I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll figure out what his tendencies are, and I think they're going to shut him down, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm going to go with Love right there. Diggs or Waddle? I'll go Diggs. Oh yeah, Diggs easily for me. Full point PPR. Let's go. Night Train, Flex, Woody Marks or Cade Otten. Or Mooney or Franklin. Oh, Woody Marks, Otten, Mooney, Franklin. I'll go Mooney right there. Why not? YOLO, baby. YOLO. Let's go. Trade Vidal for Bill. I wouldn't. I'd rather have Vidal, to be honest with you. Let's go. Papa Greco. Yo. Would you start Tet versus Buffalo over Pittman versus Tennessee due to game scripts? I love the question. First of all, you've got the matchups and everything all in there. I will say no, not really. Pittman's the better player, and they will still throw a requisite amount of time. I think Pittman will get his. I love Tet though. I want to say Pittman over Tet, but I do like both. To be honest with you, I think you might be onto something though with game scripts though. So if you play Tet, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. Go with your gut on this one though. My leanings is Pittman, but it's just a lean. Just lean. I don't have a strong start there for you, but again, I like your instincts there with the game script though. Okay, we're going to the super chat. Lol, it was 305 Miami. Not 315. I said 315. Oh man, my reading comprehension skills need some work, bro. Tres, Mr. Trace 05. How did I think that was Uno, bro? Like, my bad. What the hell? Mr. 315. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pick two, full point. Okay, PPR, I'm assuming here. Mims, Knoll, Golden, or Ramondre. I'm going to pick two. I am going to say Jalen Knoll. And I will say I still want to lean Ramondre here, man. But you know what? I'm tempted by Golden. Pittsburgh's defense has been bad. So let me go Knoll and Golden right here. And then Fannin, Hunter, or Otten, half PPR. Give me Fannin. Fannin's utilized as like the number one. I don't know if you guys have been watching these Cleveland games. Probably not, because Cleveland stinks. God, they're so ugly. But Fannon's their de facto number one. So because their other guys can't do anything. Like Jerry Jeudy can't separate and he can't catch. He's dropping everything. I think Fannin has become their number one. So I will take Fannin there, even though I don't love it. You know what I'm saying? But I'll take Fannin there too. So I'll take Knoll, Golden, and Fannin. I think that's right. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, we're almost. I feel like we're getting around. Delagizi, Caleb, or Fields. I trust Caleb more. Fields has got more upside. Harlington, McBride on bye. So Kyle Pitts or Dalton. Oh, Kyle Pitts, easily. Way too much target share and air yard share available now that Drake London is out. Chelsea, good morning to you. Full point PPR. You need one running back, one wide receiver, one flex. Wow, this is a long one. Okay. Pickens for sure. Got to get Pickens in there. I want to play Chase Brown, so get Chase Brown in there. And then I think I'm going Wandale over Debo, Worthy, Dowdle. Yeah, that one feels right to me. Okay, Jay Coop, Higgins, Mooney. Pretty sure we got to this one already. TG, full point PPR, Pickens or Tyler Warren. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go Pickens. He's been playing too well. Dak has been playing like an absolute stud baller. So go ahead and give me Pickens right there. I put later game players in the flex. Yeah, you know what? That's the smart move. That is the smart move. I wish I could say I do that all the time. It is the smart move, and that's what you. By the way, that's what you should be doing. But you know and I know. Okay, first of all, I got 17. I got 7 teams to manage. Like, bro, I'm not playing that game, dude. You know, I'm good. Let me just get my guys in there. I'll put my less trusted guys in the flex. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I can't be the only one though. Come on, man. Like, don't talk to me like I'm crazy here. I can't be the only one, dude. All right, Delroy. Start 2. Mason Taylor, Harold Fannin, K. Dot, and Kyle Pitts. I'm gonna definitely start Kyle Pitts, 100% for sure, and give me Harold Fannin. I like the floor of Harold Fannin quite a bit. Juan Pulido, full PPR. One wide receiver, running back, flex, Breece Hall, Warren. I don't know which Warren we're talking about. Worthy, Judkins, Diggs. Worthy. Guys, there's multiple Warrens. There are multiple Warrens. Okay. Like, I don't know who you're talking about. Okay. Go ahead and give me, I think we got to this one already though, my guy. All right. Full point PPR, Pickens, Tyler Warren. Okay, I think we got this one. Fantasy Meatball. I didn't ever leave. Pretty sharp on target. Okay, I got you, man. I got you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, brother. Rashid Shaheed or Troy Franklin PPR. I think I got this one too, right? Yeah, we did. I like Shaheed a little bit, but I'm chasing that Troy Franklin upside. I'm chasing that Troy Franklin upside over Rashid Shaheed. I have Monangai Still scat? Oh, dude, yeah, come on now. Nah, Jose Avalos, man, we're going scat for sure. Should I sit Barkley? I mean, no. I don't know. I don't think so. Depends what you got. What are you in an 8-man league? No, you can't sit Barkley. That's crazy talk. ATL or Indy D? ATL or Indy D? Oh man, both are great. Both are freaking fantastic. Are you kidding me? I will take Atlanta though. I think. I think I'll take Atlanta right there. They're flying around the football field right now, man. Okay. Jose Avalos, my RBs are Barkley, Scat, Swift, Monungai, Rashad White. I don't know what you're asking me. I think this is in relation to another question. Oh, should I sit Barkley? Okay, should you sit Barkley for any of these dudes? No. That's crazy. Dude, I can't do it, man. I just can't do it. Not with Barkley. Upside's too high. So no, I can't do it. I could be tempted by Rashad White. I could be tempted by Scatabo, but I can't sit here and honestly tell you that I would do that on my own personal team. I never would. And again, I'm the guy, by the way, I'm the guy that told everyone out there, dude, don't draft Saquon Barkley. Curse 370. I'm that guy. But even then, I'm not benching Saquon. Can't do it. Ali Ayub reminds me of a Cal quarterback. What is his name? Joe Ayub? I think his name was Joe Ayub. Higgins or McMillan? Higgins, T. Higgins or Tet? I think we answered this one. I think I trust T more, but I think I'm actually leaning Tet there. Man, I'm just gonna go T. I'm gonna say T. Let's hope that Joe Flacco keeps it rolling here. Chuba or Shaheed? Oh, Shaheed for me. Give me Shaheed right here. Chuba's been doing nothing. Who cares? Hayden. Oh my God, we're at 10. My bad, guys. I didn't get to as nearly as many questions as I want to. That's so my bad. Worthy, Mooney, or Alec Pierce? I have Daniel Jones. London is out. Go ahead and give me Mooney right there. I like Mooney a lot. Papa Greco. Non-PPR Uncle Rico. I'll take Mooney. I'll take Mooney over Rico, man. Shakir or Pollard at the flex, half PPR. God, this is terrible. I guess we'll go Shakir. Oh, golly. I mean, again, you talk about the lowest of lowest margins, man. I don't. Yeah, that's a tough question. Kyle, Booty or Taysom Hill? Yeah, we'll go Booty. Taysom Hill's too unreliable. Oh man, sorry, J Coop, my bad. Okay, Tet or Wandale? I'm gonna go with Tet. Better football player. Sorry, man. I'm just gonna go talent over opportunity right there. Kayshawn Booty or Taysom Hill? Yeah, Kayshawn. Or yeah. We're going Kayshawn Booty. Yeah. Yes, 305 Miami, dude. My reading skill's not too good, bro. Hurting for certain. Darius Slayton or Alec Io Manor? I will take Alec Io Manor there. Hopefully I got it in on time. Dowdle or Bill? Dowdle or Bill? I will take Bill in a potentially higher scoring game. So if you still have time, go ahead and give me Bill. Excuse me. Bill. Francisco Marquez, Mason Taylor, Evan Ingram, 1 point PPR. How often do you start a defense while also starting a player playing against you? I do it all the time. I don't care about a player playing against my defense. I don't care at all. Because again, the defense scores on sacks and interceptions. So maybe I wouldn't do it against my quarterback. That doesn't make sense, right? But sacks and interceptions, who cares about all the other stuff? You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. I will take Evan Ingram right there just because I'm worried about the injury. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Guys, I think that's it, man. God. I'm disappointed with myself. I didn't get to nearly as many questions as I want to. That's my fault. By the way, if y'all want to follow me on social media, at James D. Koh, everywhere. Okay. If y'all want to follow me there, I do answer a lot of questions on social media too. So again, I want you guys to come into the stream and do all those things. And obviously Jim is the best. I love Jim. But if you guys want to get some questions answered earlier in the week, go ahead, hit me up on social media. Let's find out what's going on. You know what I mean? So let's get that going. If you guys want to follow me, that'd be great. I got my own YouTube channel too. If you guys want to follow me there, but most of my YouTube content actually is now on RotoWire's stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, I appreciate all you guys out there, man. Good luck to everyone. Games have started. And again, I apologize if I didn't get to as many questions as I wanted to this week, but I was looking up area code, so that's my bad. Getting them wrong too. 315. I'm tripping, dog. I am tripping. Anyways, hey, listen, I'll see you guys here next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. I love all y'all. Good luck in this Bimageddon freaking injury riddled week. What a crazy week this is. Crazy looking lineups, ugly lineups. I'll see you guys next week. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.